All right. What is going on, everybody? And welcome on into another very special edition of the Cinema Lords podcast. The second part of our three-part Cobra Kai Season 5 breakdown. Got a special show tonight for a couple reasons. We're just a two-man crew tonight. First time we're doing the whole thing ourselves. No producer.
Turning two.
We're going to have to do the whole thing ourselves. Unfortunately, Seth Rogers couldn't make it. He was stuck up at work. But the show must go on. We wanted to bang these out before Los has to head off to training. So we got 4 episodes to talk to you guys about tonight. We got episodes 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we got a lot to get into. The whole middle chunk of the season here. And it was a good middle chunk. I liked 2 episodes a lot. 2 episodes I felt were kind of weight in the water. But even the 2 episodes that I thought weren't that great had some big moments in them. So at least that, helped bounce those episodes back a little bit. You know what I mean? They weren't total duds.
Yeah, I like the episodes. Honestly, I have no complaints. I mean, the whole season in general, like I said, was on the lesser side in terms of the quality and compared to the other seasons. But I still like the middle part of this season. I feel like sometimes with shows, you get a little lost. Sometimes they can get a little,
definitely.
They'll lose you sometimes in the middle of the season with some filler episodes. But I didn't really feel like that was too much of an issue with this show this season. So
no, definitely didn't lose me. I guess it just, I don't know. What I noticed the big thing was, I would say, especially like the 2 that I didn't like, which is 5 and 6, where I didn't find them be even as funny as some of like the normal episodes. Like episode 4, I really, really enjoyed. It's not that anything actually really special happens in the episode, but I was laughing like the entire episode. I thought episode 4 was fucking hilarious. Couldn't stop laughing. But I guess let's start diving in.
Let's dive in.
Episode 4 is where we're gonna start off. We have Downward Spiral. Like I was just saying, I thought this was, I think, probably my favorite episode of the season so far. After the 7 that we've watched or recapped or gonna recap, I think this is my favorite one so far. I feel like a lot of the things that I like about this show and that we like about this show, they do in this episode, and like definitely the corniness a bit in this one. There's some corny scenes, but I feel like they work because it is Cobra Kai. Johnny, awesome in this episode, fucking hilarious. Like I said, cracks me up the whole time. And also LaRusso struggles a bit in this episode, which I love to see because I like to see Daniel in disarray, to be honest.
Yeah, you like to take him down a notch too.
He needs that, I think. That's actually a good way to put it. I like that. And you know what? Most importantly, too, about this episode is we get the gang back together. We've been all over the place. We've been down in Mexico. We've been here, there, and everywhere. We're finally going to get all the kids back together. We're going to get some Hawk action. But we open up with a fucking hilarious scene, like just so funny. Carmen wakes up in the morning. She goes over to her sink. Things dripping. She pulls out her phone. She calls Johnny. Before she can even hang up the phone, bang, bang, Johnny's on the door. But he's not just at the door. He's in full Tom Cruise aviator Top Gun costume. Aviators, the whole suit, everything, top to bottom. And then, they start kissing or whatever. And the next thing you know, we get a full Top Gun reenacted montage. Johnny and Miguel are playing volleyball. He's even got the hands taped up like Tom Cruise does. He's riding around on the bike. The whole thing.
Yeah, they got a nice 80s song going in the background.
Yep. They're definitely playing on all like the hype that's around Top Gun Maverick right now. You know what I mean?
For sure.
But
I appreciated it. I thought it was hilarious.
Oh, wicked funny.
I think I texted you right after I watched the episode 2. I was like, Nick, you're gonna love the opening of episode 4 because I was literally cracking up in my house watching it.
Wicked funny. But it turns out Carmen's just dreaming. She wakes up. And just a good dream. She wakes up next to Johnny. She even says, I had the best dream. He goes, tell me about it. And we actually know he's not at least he said, I don't know, he might have just been mad in the moment, but he did say earlier in the show he's not a Top Gun fan. He made fun of Tom Cruise and shit, so maybe he's not going to like being turned into Maverick.
Yeah, I would take that as a compliment,
Yeah, I would too.
Tell me I look like Tom Cruise, please.
But from there we go to Johnny's apartment. And he's calling around. He's like doing job interviews on the phone, but he's basically just trying to take any odd job that he can find. And Robbie's mom shows up, and she's all friggin' clean and sober now. She looks friggin' super clean. She's acting like a full-blown adult. She notices how like nice Johnny's house is. She's like, look, a functioning adult lives here. Like, who are you to judge? You were just in rehab a season ago.
Yeah, that's what I noticed that when I watched that too. That was my first thought. I was like, who is this bitch to fucking give Johnny shit and be like, oh, look who finally cleaned up his act. Like,
Yeah.
you're a terrible mother yourself.
No kidding. Like I said, 1 season ago you went to rehab. Good for you. You cleaned it up. I mean, let's not get off your high horse a little bit. You know what I mean? But it turns out she wants to take Robbie with her. She's going east. She's got family over there. It's summer vacation. She wants to take Robbie with her. And Johnny's like, all right, that kind of stinks, but what are we going to do? And then she's, getting ready to leave, and she kind of keeps looking around. She's noticing all this stuff, and she's looking at the look on Johnny's face, and she goes, holy shit, you knocked up Carmen, didn't you? And Johnny just goes, how'd you know that? She goes, because that's exactly how you looked when you knocked me up.
That lost look on your face.
Yeah, it's very funny. But then he actually says, that's what he was doing when she got here, was she was looking for work, and she ends up setting him up with a little service. She goes, all right, I can get you a job, delivery, Uber, all that good stuff. She goes, all you need's a phone. She's like, I don't have a phone anymore. So she literally sets him up with a door-to-door service, he calls it. But someone's going to come over and set him up with all the goods to start making some money. Before we get to that though, we're going to go to the water park, and we're going to get, like I said, we're going to get all the kids together, which I've been excited for. I've got no Hawk yet to this point. But we open up, we're at the water park. We got Sam, we got Yaz, we got Moon. Sam's fresh off of breaking Miguel's heart. Terrible decision, whatever.
That's the best thing that ever happened to Miguel.
True, definitely. But then, they're lounging by the water, whatever, having, chilling by the pool. And then all of a sudden, who shows up? Hawk and Miguel. Moon's mistake. She said that she forgot Miguel was coming. Now we have a bit of an let the awkwardness begin. You know what I mean? Recent breakups, hanging out at the water park together. It's gonna be tough.
I love the feel of this episode too at the water park. Just like makes you feel like a kid again.
Definitely.
Summertime,
Yeah. You know what? Like I was saying, that there's a couple of things in this episode that I feel like they do really well. It's always funny how in Cobra Kai, everyone somehow always ends up in the same place. You know what I mean? It's like it's summer vacation. These kids can go anywhere they want, and they all happen to be at the same water park on the same day.
It's the smallest world ever.
They're in California. So you have endless options for
There's a million places to go, a million things to do.
Of course, they're all, they all end up at the same water park. But it turns out, like I said, Cobra Kai is in the house, and Robbie's there as well. And we find out Robbie sees Tori, goes up to her. They end up, giving a little kissy kiss, and I'm like, oh shit, you guys are still together, like a thing now, apparently. Obviously, we left them in season 4, and they were kind of starting to get hot and heavy at prom and stuff, but it seems like they're still together. I was like, all right, word. I love Tori, so if Robbie's with her, that's more points for Robbie in my book,
Tori's a bad bitch.
Tori's awesome. I love her. Well, Robbie asked her, he goes, hey, I left Cobra Kai because they basically turned me into an asshole. I don't want the same thing to happen to you. Now that Kreese is gone, now's a great time to get on out. And she's just like, what? What are you talking about? She's like, if you don't want to do it no more, that's cool. I don't judge you at all. We can still, date and all that shit. But I'm not leaving Cobra Kai. I'm a big girl. I can make my own decisions. You know what I mean? But already some signs there's some rockiness. You know what I mean? Some waves. But the other thing here is we get the first sign that this loser Kyla thinks she's going to stop being the top dog. She's kind of trying to lead the tribe now that everybody's gone. Robbie's gone. Hawk's gone. But you can already see Kenny's just following him around, but it's just a matter of time before those roles change. They've been building Kenny up. They've been spending a lot of time with his character. I feel like he's definitely going to be the new prize possession for Cobra Kai. And Kyla sucks. All he does is get his ass beat.
Yeah, he's a pussy. Plus, terrible name. As someone who shares 4 of the same 5 letters in his name, terrible fucking name.
Good call. But literally, since season 1, when Miguel was just like a kid who had no idea what he was doing, that's the only time he's won a fight. Since then, he's lost consistently. Since then, he's got his ass kicked a billion times. Who do you think you are to be a top dog now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, nah, he's nothing. He's a chump. We're gonna see that too.
Yeah, but friggin', like I said, just a matter of time. I like Kenny. I like his character. Even though he's a bit of a bully this season, I still enjoy him. I don't know why. But from there, we go to a fundraiser. Amanda and Danny are heading to a fundraiser. Amanda wants to get on the board of this new charity. So they're going to, go. Daniel's going to put some things up for auction that they're going to do. He's going to try to wine and dine a little bit and try to get Amanda a spot on the board. So they head on over to where it's being held, and turns out it's at friggin' Terry Silva's house. What are the odds? You know what I mean? Almost seems like it has to be a setup. We left them. He just set fire to Bonds' building and kind of pointed to LaRusso and said, like, you're next now. You know what I mean? Like, the fire's coming for you.
You're playing with fire, Danny boy.
Yeah, and you know how Silver is. He's got a lot of resources. He's got a lot of money. He can do a lot of things. He's not like Kreese. He doesn't have to just go and, trash dojos. He can kill you in the business way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel like his style, too, is much more mental. He plays much more mental games, mental warfare.
Definitely.
Things of that nature, whereas Kreese was a little bit more just like the muscle, you know what I mean?
Yep. Probably why they worked together for so well until, things have gone awry. But right away, Daniel's like kind of a little suspicious. He's like, all right, this seems weird. Like, out of all the places this could have been held, and it just happens to be here. And like you said, I mean, he's on the lookout, you know what I mean? He's looking out for a trap because Silver said he was coming. But we go back to Johnny's apartment, and sure enough, we're going to get a little knock on the door. It's our door-to-door service. I love this. For some reason, it's never even connected in my brain until he was knocking on the door. It's friggin' Dimitri. As soon as I saw him, I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I should have picked up on that when they said door to door. I should have knew it was going to be Dimitri.
I don't know why, but I was just like, I don't know. I was just expecting some random guy for like 2 seconds, another Stingray kind of thing, you know what I mean? And the next thing you know, it was Dimitri, and I was like, oh, that's so perfect. That is hilarious. But Dimitri ends up coming in. Johnny was actually surprised. It's kind of the same reaction as I did. He was just like, oh my God, it's you? Like, what the hell? But lets him in, whatever. Goes, all right, I want whatever phone I can get for $50. And Dimitri's just like, huh? $50? All right. Goes into his backpack, literally pulls out a phone that's just like cracked to hell, shattered to shit. And he goes, this one works, you know what I mean? And sure enough, he ends up hooking Johnny up with all the apps to start working, you know what I mean? Start doing the Uber Eats and the deliveries and all that shit. So, but like I said, very funny for it to just be Dimitri out of nowhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a funny little scene.
I thought it was very funny too. He mentions at the end, kind of like after Dimitri's done, he's helping him out. He goes, "Thanks," and he goes, "I'm sorry, I've called you a dork or a geek or whatever you identify as." But that was a good little twist, I thought, for like modern day shit. Way to throw that in there. From there, we're gonna go back to the water park, and we have Kenny. Like I said, still being a bully this season. He's still got his hands. He's still bullying LaRusso, which I don't mind because I think LaRusso stinks.
Hey, LaPusso.
That was great. LaRusso, there's so many good ones. But they end up friggin' stacking them all up with fucking like 15 tubes, just one after the other. He's like head to toe covered, and then he gives him a nice kick right into the water. Thought it was pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. He didn't get hurt or anything. It was all in harmless fun. Got plenty of protection. But, Hawk's overwatching. He sees it. He comes in. All of a sudden, we're kind of like, all right, we're going to start having a little bit of a problem. Tori comes in. She's like, all right, let's just settle this. You guys stay on your side of the park. We'll stay on this side of the park. And we're just going to literally split the water park in half for the day. Chances are, I'm guessing, probably not going to go well.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
These kids have had a whole valley to, like, basically separate themselves, and they can't do that. I don't think they're going to be able to do it in a very tiny area.
No.
But it turns out the whole time, basically, Robbie must have been watching. We didn't see him, but he comes over as soon as the whole thing kind of de-escalates, and he goes up to Tori, and he goes, I get that you think you might be able to make your own decisions, but what about my boy Kenny here? Because he's like, look at him. He's clearly turning into a bit of an asshole. And you can see Robbie more annoyed. He's getting quite frustrated with Cobra Kai. And I don't think he wants to be dating a girl that's in Cobra Kai, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't make that decision just yet, Robbie. Come on now.
Yeah, don't do anything,
Don't do anything rash.
Tori's awesome, and she's way better than LaRusso, and it seems like those are the only two girls that there are any love interests. I mean, Dimitri's taken, Yaz is taken by Dimitri, Moon's taken, and there's no other girls really, you know what I mean? I guess Devin, the little Asian girl that's in friggin' Topanga, Kansas, for now at least. We're going to get there. But from there, we're going to go back to the charity event. That's where we're going to kind of do this whole episode, really, basically. It's kind of bounce from these three stories. Water Park, LaRusso at the fundraiser, and then, Johnny. But we're going to go back to the fundraiser event. Like I said, LaRusso's right away skeptic. Now he's, a lot more nervous. He's kind of saying to Amanda, he's like, this has got to be a trap, babe. Like, this is not good. Like, this guy, you don't know him. He's a psychopath. This is what he does, like you were saying. Mental warfare, you know what I mean? She's like, bro, we're at a friggin' fundraiser for charity. What the fuck is he going to do? Which is a kind of a good point. It's like, what the hell is he going to do? You know what I mean? It's not like he can just come full-blown and start karate kicking you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, in front of a whole group of people.
Yeah, rich people, you know what I mean? It's his house and stuff. I don't think he's going to go start, throwing kicks in the middle of this thing. But basically, she's like, hey, why don't you go over to the head of this organization? Why don't you go, talk me up a bit? And he's like, all right, I can handle that. But then as soon as he leaves, it's almost like Terry Silver was waiting for his moment to come in and swoop in. Sure enough, it's exactly what he does. He swoops in on Amanda, some fancy-ass wine. starts kind of trying to play the good guy angle when, Danny's not there to kind of go against it. He kind of has free reign to say whatever he wants. He's like, hey, I'm not like Kreese. That's why I got him out of here. Like, I want to train these kids the right way. I just want to teach them to be strong and know how to stand up for themselves, but not to be bullies. And he's almost trying to soften up Amanda a little bit. And then he does the real snake thing, and he goes, that's all I want, Daniel to know too, but he ended up, sending up his guy to rough up my new senseis.
Yeah.
Just like, come on, you little snaky bastard.
Oh, yeah.
You
He knows what he's doing.
man. Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
And sure enough, of course, Amanda's just like, he did what? You know what I mean? Just like furious. And of course, she has to know it's chosen. But she didn't know until now. And of course, that was perfect a little bit of napalm to throw down, you know what I mean, by Terry Silver, just to start just a little bit of the fire. But from there we go back to Johnny, and now he is full blown working. He's doing the damn thing. He's doing delivery in his Eagle Fang fucking mini bus, whatever you want to call that thing.
Yeah, his little minivan.
Minivan, yeah, there you go. Fucking all painted out. And this montage I thought was hysterical. Just the whole thing, just picking up people. They're all giving him 1 stars. He's late everywhere. He's delivering food to the wrong people. He's drinking.
Yeah, he's missing turns.
Oh, yeah.
He's having like intimate conversations on the phone while people are in the back seat.
He friggin' at one point literally starts pissing in a can while he has somebody in the back seat. The guy's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I've been in the car all day. What do you want to do? Well, this whole thing I thought was hysterical. At one point, some girl gave him a 1-star review because the car smelled like beer. And that actually we saw in the trailer. He's like, that's because there's beer in the car, asshole.
Yeah. I'm drinking. What are you gonna do about it?
The whole time he's just pounding banquets, just the entire time. No worries about drinking and driving by Johnny. But that whole thing I thought was absolutely hysterical. 1 star galore, which, I mean, if you keep getting 1 stars, you're not going to be an Uber driver for very long, you know what I mean? But that was a good montage. Like I said, everything with Johnny this episode really cracked me up. I thought everything he did. I love Johnny. I think like his humor and his like bad shit happening to him is a lot of what made us fall in love with him in the first season and stuff, you know what I mean? So I like to see more of that. We go back to the water park, and we got a couple of the other Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang kids, not like the big name ones. I think it was like Piss Breath. I think it was Devin, and then the little scrawny kid who gets thrown through the window there at LaRusso's house, who goes looking out for the cat. I think there's 3 of them, and they were basically saying like this whole splitting up the park thing's kind of bullshit. Like there are rides on that side that we want to go ride. We're really gonna let this whole like stupid treaty that we just didn't even take part in like stop us. So sure enough, they're gonna go off to the other side of the park, and you just know it's gonna start causing problems in like a matter of moments. But Miguel, they go to Miguel and Sam on the fucking beach chairs, and they're just having some conversation. And Miguel's trying to flirt with her, and I was just like, why are you doing this? Like, you just got your out last episode, you know what I mean? Like, she just broke up with you, dude. Just, like, leave it alone.
Miguel just is having a bad season, in my opinion. He just looks soft. I don't know. It's just rough. I don't know. Like, he's like puppying over this fucking girl that doesn't give a shit about him, and she sucks. Never mind even the fact that she don't care about him, and it's just brutal.
Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. It's been a tough season for him so far, I'm not going to lie. And that's really the kind of just, I was like, come on.
God, why are you fawning over Sam LaRusso?
Exactly, man. Just let it go.
Tori was all about you.
Yeah.
You can pull any girl in the valley. Come on, man.
It's true. You're our champ. You know what I mean? It's that you're at the water park. You know what I mean? There's got to be girls. Go at summer. There's got to be 1,000 girls there to choose from. You know what I mean? Go find anybody else. Try to make LaRusso jealous. Make her come to you. You know what I mean? Stop chasing her around. But, of course, drama's going to break out, like I said. Those 3 kids cross the border. So next thing you know, we got ourselves a nice little, basically a pushing contest. You stay on your side. You stay on your side. Cobra Kai, these kids. Hawk's going to come over and try to, settle things. But friggin', I'm sorry, no. Yeah, actually, yeah. Robbie comes over. I'm sorry. Not yet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Robbie comes in trying to calm everyone down, right?
Yeah, the second time it's Hawk goes rushing in, but the first time it's Robbie. He goes rushing in to kind of settle the things because he doesn't want to see Cobra Kai and all that shit escalated more. He's already seen Kenny be a bully, ends up kind of breaking it up. But Hawk and Miguel are watching, and they're kind of like from a distance. They're like, "Yo, I thought he was out of Cobra Kai." They they don't see the whole thing, you know what I mean? But they're quick to judge. But Robbie ends up, like I said, breaking up the whole thing. And then Hawk does eventually make his way over. They end up saying, all right, we can't fight. The security guard already came over to him once and was kind of like, if you guys don't stop this pushing contest, like you guys are all going to be bounced. So like, all right, we can't fight. What are we gonna do? They decided to do a race, and this is one of the plots I was talking about. That was kind of corny, but I thought it worked because it was Cobra Kai. I was like, all right, we're gonna race like down a water slide. How do you have any say in who's fast? It's all luck.
Yeah, no, I thought that was the stupidest thing. When they first said the race at first, I thought like a race, like I don't know. I wasn't thinking a race down a water slide. That's just dumb.
Yeah, I was like I said, if it was literally any other show, I would have been like, oh, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. But because it was Cobra Kai, I was like, I'm in. Let's go. Let's race. Yeah. And who's it going to be? It's Hawk and Tori, champ versus champ. So they're going to head up, and Robbie's going to be kind of stood in there, left by himself, kind of just like watching everybody walk off, like kind of torn. Like, I don't know what to do here. You know what I mean? Like, I got friends on both sides. He was obviously mentoring Kenny Hard. He's dating Tori. But now he's kind of boys with, well, not boys, but he's getting a little bit closer with the other kids because, you know what I mean? He's been hanging out with them and shit. So he's definitely torn on what to do, you know what I mean? But back to the charity event. Oh, my Lord. Have mercy.
Yeah, I had to pop that open. Sorry.
Nice. That was very interesting. But we're gonna go back to the charity event, and we see that LaRusso has offered up. They're doing like a charity auction thing to kind of try to raise some money and shit. And LaRusso donated 3 bonsai trees. Put up 3 bonsais for sale for them to auction off. And they have the typical bidding thing at first. It's very like like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. Then all of a sudden Terry Silver just drops the hammer and goes 30K.
30K.
Okay. That's a
flexing.
Yeah, no shit. We're already at your house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's hosting.
Flex. You know what I mean? Drops that. Then he gets up in front of everybody, gives a little speech, and says, "All low-income students, free karate." You know what I mean? Just trying to. And he's like, all you people help spread the good word. Then he walks off. LaRusso's like, "You better take care of these bonsais, dude. Like, don't be a friggin' douche." You know what I mean? These are Miyagi's fucking bonsais, and he's just like, "I don't know. It sounds like a lot of work. I might just use them for mulch."
Yeah, I might just crush it up and toss it in my yard.
But just, anything to get under LaRusso's skin.
So insulting, too, because you're probably going to get, like, maybe a square foot of mulch out of those 3.
True. Yep, very true. But you can just tell he's just trying to push the buttons, you know what I mean? He's just trying to he's just trying to get under his skin. You know?
You can definitely feel as this episode's going and as they keep panning back to Terry Silver's house that things are rising, like something's about to happen.
Tension,
the tension's building.
More aggravated.
Yeah, exactly. And you can just sense that this is going somewhere, and it's going to lead to something that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I would have to agree. From there, we go to a quick scene again with Johnny. This one I really, really love because I love how this show does callbacks and stuff like that. But he's doing another delivery. And who's he delivering to? The pawn shop guy.
Yeah. I love this guy. It's honestly one of my favorite characters in this show. The guy cracks me up.
He is good. He's always funny every time he's on. This was a different kind of scene for him this time, though. I like how he greeted him. He's like, "Oh my God, you finally have something I want," which was good.
Yeah.
Right away with his lunch. And Johnny just right away is just like, "Dude, this fucking job sucks." And the guy goes, "Have one of my Tostitos. It'll make you feel better."
Yeah. He goes, yeah.
Johnny already had one, though.
Yeah, Johnny goes, "No thanks, I already had one."
I stole one out in the car.
Guy just instantly takes the box and just throws it in the trash.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Yeah, I'm good."
You already shoved your dirty hands into my box before I even got it. No. I offered you one. That's different. But then he ends up giving Johnny a nice little quick therapy session, even though he says that it's not his job. But he ends up, kind of telling him, "I got this job so that I can, make enough money to pay the bills so that I can spend time with my family." You know what I mean? And he kind of just says, "You have a family now. You already have one, and you got more coming. You got another kid on the way. You know what I mean? You just got to
suck it up. Be a fucking man.
Yeah. And
go work, make some money, and support your family, and then you hang out with him as well. Sounds like being an adult. Sounds like being a father.
Yeah, for real. It was funny. He goes, the pawn shop keeper. He goes, you met at one point. He goes "Yeah, I have 3 kids. You're never gonna meet them."
yeah, it was funny.
Just throws it in there. It's already getting too much. Yeah. It's already getting too big.
Yeah. Don't mistake my my advice here as we're being friends here.
And then as he walks out too, he goes, "You're still getting 1 star." By the way.
So, yeah, whatever. He's like add it to the rest of them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, join the club or something like that. That's the rest of them. It was very funny though. Good scene. Like I said, Johnny was dynamite this episode. I loved it. Good classic Johnny stuff. But now we're gonna go back to the water park. Things are gonna start kind of popping off a little bit. Robbie's gonna go over to Kenny for the first time. He hasn't seen him in a grip. Probably actually hasn't seen him since the tournament. I would imagine, since he actually whipped his ass in the tournament. So that's kind of weird now that I think about it. But that he basically tells Kenny "Hey, dude, quit Cobra Kai." He's like, "It turned me into an asshole. I don't want like the same thing to happen to you. You know what I mean? And he's like, the only reason why I actually whipped your ass even at the tournament was because like of Cobra Kai. You know what I mean? Like they always like made me do that. And Kenny ain't having it. Kenny's like, nah, bro.
Yeah, Kenny's so brainwashed. I think he responded. He's like, no, I needed that. Like he
does. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's like, something like that. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't hold back or something like that. I needed that, something like that. Yeah. And then he basically he's like, I'm stronger than I've ever been. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, I'm never quitting Cobra Kai. I ain't no quitter. You know what I mean?
Kenny's got this snarl on his face all season long too. He's just like,
he does.
He's just like, just giving you the stink face. He's just like, yeah, you want to come at me, boy?
Yeah, he doesn't back down at all this season, man. He's always looking for a fight this season. But fucking Kenny tells him basically to fuck off. Now we're gonna go up top. We're at the water slide. We're gonna do our race. And I noticed that Kyle is the guy that's kind of doing like the start off, like the pistol guy. You know what I'm saying? He's like, all right, everybody, this is for this, that. And he's like the guy who's supposed to be the big badass, and he's just sitting there in his fucking Crocs. And I'm just like, yeah, this dude's supposed to be the next big tough guy. I can't with his freaking Crocs. But regardless, they end up doing the race. Tori gets down first, but it turns out Kenny was the one that handed both of them their tubes, and there was a little cheating going on. He friggin' gave a little pop, skeet to Hawk's float. Hawk's like, dude, what the fuck? Cheetah, like, I know it was you. Kenny's like, what are you gonna do about it, dude? And Hawk, not doing the no more Cobra Kai. He's Miyagi-Do now. He's like,
What gonna do about it?
He's like, I ain't gonna swing first. He's like, I ain't gonna swing first. Sure enough, Kenny tries to do the classic movie move, like I've seen 1,000 times. He tries to do the classic, like, I'm gonna look away, like, nah, and then do the swing. Missed by 40 feet. They like literally showed it. Hawk is like this, just like yawning at him, basically, how far away it was.
Nah, he telegraphed that.
Big time, yeah. I think Hawk's seen all the same movies that I've seen. You know?
Yeah.
He's like, bro, I know this trick. I've seen this move before. But basically, Kenny's going to throw a bunch of more friggin' throws at him. Hawk's just going to fucking bang, 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 block all of them. You know what I mean? He ain't really fighting back on this kid, which is, I think, showing a little grow up by Hawk. But then fucking, Robbie's going to come over and kind of like, break things up. And like, Hawk's like, bro, like, I thought you were fucking not on Cobra Kai's side anymore. Like, what's the deal here? You know what I mean? But turns out Miguel's going to come over, try to kind of break things up too a little bit. He gets in Robbie's face a bit too. He's kind of saying the same thing. Like, I thought you weren't with them anymore. And Robbie's like, dude, you know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? But then it doesn't even matter. There was enough fighting going on. The security guard comes back and he's like, all of you,
Get the fuck out of here.
The whole lot of you, y'all got to go. But
honestly, if I was at that water park, I'd be applauding that guy. I'd be like, "Thank you."
The security guard?
Yeah, get these kids out of here. I got 1 day off from work, and these kids are ruining it.
All the parents that live in town probably have seen all the other fights that have broken out in the news too and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh no, these kids are here to start a fight again. They're gonna ruin the whole day." My kids, I gotta watch out for my kids now. I can't just let them run them off. They're gonna catch a kick to the face or something. But they're all balanced. They're all out of there. And then we're gonna go back to Silva's house, and we're gonna get the final piece of napalm on the bomb that we need to set LaRusso off. Silva, we see Silva. He's talking to the head of the organization.
Yep.
And LaRusso's watching, and he's kind of like, this doesn't look good. You know what I mean? Right away, he's on guard. Silva comes over, and LaRusso's like, what the hell did you say? And Silva, to perfection, just goes, I said your wife's a psychopath, like a lying, conniving, friggin' terrible human being. You know what I mean? So what does fucking Danny do? He snaps, kicks Silva, or pushes him, actually.
Yeah, he just slightly pushes him, but
Yeah,
Terry knew it was coming because he was setting him up.
A little exaggeration, you think? A little NBA? Little
Absolutely.
NBA?
Oh, he flopped. He learned. he got a lesson from LeBron James the night before.
The king of... Yeah, so I think Silver actually, I think Danny says almost as much. They didn't push him that hard. But sure enough, he goes flying right into the table with all the bonsai trees.
Knocks him over.
Knocks them all, breaks the table, knocks them all over, causes a huge ruckus.
Yeah, the pots that the bonsai trees are in, they all break and shatter. There's dirt all over the place.
Yeah, so everyone now at this charity event sees LaRusso do this. And they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's like a record scratch when that happens, too. Everybody just turns and looks over.
Definitely. Glass shattering and shit like that. And then, sure enough, the organization head, she comes on over and she's like, what the hell is going on? And LaRusso is just like, this guy, is causing all this. He's playing you guys just like he was, lying to you about my wife. And she's like, Silva just gave a glowing recommendation about your wife and your family. But now you just kind of soiled this whole thing. And it shows perfectly, Terry. Perfect manipulation, man. 101. Got exactly what he wanted. Looks like the good guy in basically every situation, you know what I mean? Talked her up, gets pushed, you know what I mean? Makes LaRusso look like a total nut job. And of course, Amanda, furious.
Yeah, she looks at Daniel and says thanks, and looks like she's about tearing up, and then she walks away.
Walks right off. Basically, just leaves him there in the party by himself. So Silva definitely won that battle, man. LaRusso
Got him.
Yeah, he sure did. He told him. He told Danny he was coming, baby.
You could just sense it. This whole episode, they were just building something up, like they were just adding fuel to the fire, and it was it was about to explode. So
yeah, good Terry Silver episode, man. If you're a Terry Silver fan, this was a good one for him.
He's smart, man. He knows what he's doing. He's got a plan. Like they've said earlier in the season, he's 2 steps ahead of you at all times.
Yeah, always, man. He's playing. He knows he's watching all the outcomes. He's playing chess. You know what I mean? But we go to a quick little scene real quick where Johnny's wrapped up his day, but he's fresh off this nice therapeutic conversation with the pawn shop guy, and he's like, you know what? This guy's right. It's all about spending time with my family. Calls up Robbie's mom and says, hey, I want Robbie to spend the summer with me. And she's like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Good for you. So we're gonna have Robbie sticking around, but a nice scene. You know what I mean? He's gonna be staying with Dad for the first time, really. Although stay with him for a little while, but now kind of long term for a couple months.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's long overdue. How old's Robbie? Johnny's finally stepping up.
Almost
and
18, imagine. 17. He's finally going to be...
I mean, better late than never, but...
True.
But it's good, yeah. I'm a
Johnny,
big Robbie fan. It's nice to see him actually have somebody that's looking out for him for once in his life.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And Johnny's finally growing up, too, it looks like. You know what I mean? He's really getting ready to be a dad. You know what I'm saying? From there, we go to kind of like the parking lot of the water park. And Robbie is going to make a move that is very Robbie-like in the sense that I don't like it. This is why I don't like Robbie, because he does dumb shit like this. But he basically says, hey, Tori, ultimatum time, baby. It's either me or Cobra Kai. And Tori's just like, well, I'm not quitting Cobra Kai. And he's like, all right. And that's it. It's over. Breaking up. I'm like, bro, bad move, man. Are you kidding me? Leaving the champ, Queen Cobra?
Yeah, that's tough. That's a tough move. That's a tough decision to make. But it just goes to show, I think, that Robbie is really serious about cutting his ties with Cobra Kai, which I think is partially the reason why they had this scene happen in general. I'm holding out hope that they're going to get back together in the future. But
yep. But we'll see. I think it's definitely possible. I think I like them. I like them better together than I like Miguel with her too. I don't know. This new Robbie, I don't know. I'm coming around on him. I don't like this season. It's too good for him and too bad for Miguel. I don't like it.
Yeah, tough season for Miguel. I still love Miguel. Don't get me wrong, but tough season for him.
Yeah. But so Robbie's gonna leave Tori, whatever, kind of walk off, and then who's gonna come over and confront him now is gonna be Miguel. Miguel's gonna confront Robbie now. Like, yo, what the fuck was all that about? You know what I mean? I saw you like 2 times in the park. Are you Cobra Kai or not? They're gonna kind of start to get into a little bit of an argument, and then who shows up? Johnny. Johnny's here to pick up Robbie, tell him the good news, and he's just like, bro, it's like, come on, really? We're still going to be doing it? I thought we were going to be friends now, you know what I mean? And then it's like, dude, just because I went to Mexico does not mean we're friends. It's never going to happen. So Johnny's got a bit of a thing to work out there, unfortunately. I'm sure they're going to figure out something. Johnny's a smart guy. He'll figure it out.
He's not smart.
No, but he's good at figuring. He finds a way to get things done. He's definitely not the smartest guy. That's definitely true. But I'm sure he'll find a way. Both of these kids seem like they're legitimately trying to redeem themselves a bit. You know what I mean? They're both trying to make up for some shit. But we go to the closing scene. We go to the LaRusso house. And, the LaRussos are heading home. We see as they walk in, Chosen laying on the couch watching soap operas.
Yeah, that was funny. He looks off the TV. He's like,
yeah. I can't be seen much.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a few times in my life. Oh, shit, my parents home.
I probably used to do that when I was still like a dumb, I don't even know, 18-year-old. I'd probably be watching one of the shows I was watching, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and one of my friends would walk in and I'd be like, oh, I wasn't watching that. Now shameless, dude. You'll watch in, you'll walk in. Hey, like you last year when you walked in probably every single day, Los walked into my house for I'd say a month. Every single day I was watching Harry Potter.
Yeah, it was sick. I at one point was concerned.
I was a little concerned myself, to be honest.
I was like, Nick, I know you love this.
Early life crisis.
But I'm concerned. When is enough?
Oh, shit. But yeah, so the Russos walk in, and, Amanda's like, dude, enough of this shit. When is enough going to be enough? You know what I mean? This just cost me this chair that I wanted on this board. You made our family look dumb. And basically, Daniel's like, listen, you got to let me and Chosen handle this. And she's like, all right, handle it. But if you got, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm leaving.
Amanda's done. She's
taking the kids.
I'm on Amanda's side, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, she has a lot of times
been
already
dealing
done the
with-
same thing.
This has been going on for years. She's just like, what is this? We own like a successful car dealership, and we have like we have way bigger things going on in life.
And we have just multiple karate senseis from your past just coming in and wrecking havoc on our lives.
Yeah, we got kids running around, kicking the shit out of each other constantly. Like,
Destroying
what is
the house.
happening? Yeah, what is happening?
Having a literal karate war in our
I feel
house.
bad for her.
And like I said, so many times now, she kind of felt, I think, like, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. This is going to be it. And it keeps not being
that's
it.
what Danny Boy keeps fucking selling to her, but
I know.
never seems to be the end.
I know.
Not that that's necessarily his fault, but
No, I mean, exactly. These guys keep coming back and ruin tournament. What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
not much.
Yeah, they're even like, if they're going after his kids and shit. You know what I mean? You got to do
Yeah, it
something.
gets personal, you know.
Exactly. But that's how the episode's going to end. You know what I mean? LaRusso is going to be out on his own for a little while. Amanda's heading out. She said she's going to her mom's and she's taking the kids. I think she says in Ohio. Yeah, in Ohio.
Yeah.
So, tough spot for LaRusso, baby. Not good. You know what I mean? But strong episode. I thought this was, like I said, I think this is my favorite one so far out of the 7 that we're going to cover in total so far.
Yeah, my main takeaway from that episode, I loved how funny that episode was,
Yup.
and I also loved the mind games that Terry Silver was playing, because it really, I think it was really setting up the plot for the rest of the season. It made it a little bit more serious. Like, it was like, all right, like now Terry's like really starting to make some moves here and trying to make things personal. So that I thought really escalated things in a sense too. So I was a big fan of this episode for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. It definitely kind of upped the stakes a little bit in a way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And the stakes already seem like they're pretty friggin' high.
Yeah.
But when you start, messing with the man's family, man, things get real personal.
Exactly, and his public reputation as well.
True. Yeah, that's true. Definitely made the name look bad. And they're already dealing with some stuff that LaRusso named. They were already dealing with stuff at the dealership, you know what I mean? Because of all this karate nonsense and shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that name's already under a little bit of fire, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like I said, good episode. Definitely very entertaining. Like you said, very funny. Johnny's shit was absolutely hysterical. Robbie bouncing on his girl Tori, questionable decision, but definitely a strong episode. The next one, episode number 5, we have Extreme Measures, which this one, a little bit of a slower episode. But it's got 2 real, like, big moments in it. That kind of, not even just for the episode, I would say for the season in total. 2 of the better, like, scenes in the season, 2 of the biggest moments in the season. But the rest of it felt kind of fillery to me, but still a good episode. I still enjoyed it. We get a few characters making their first, either coming back into the show for the first time in a while, the first time this season, and also we get one character coming into the show for the first time, but she's from the universe. So we get a lot of returns in this. And then my biggest takeaway from this episode is massive role reversal for Johnny and Danny. They've always been, like Danny's the cleaned up family guy, knows what to do, under control, smart, calculated, doesn't, react quick. Johnny's like, the booze bag, quick to fight, messed up his family, all that stuff. And now this episode's a big time, like 180 flip for that. So that was kind of interesting to see for the first time in the show.
Yeah, I agree.
But let's dive in. We're gonna open up and we're gonna bring in right away. We're gonna bring in one of my favorites. We're gonna open up at Cobra Kai. Tori is going absolutely ham on some kind of, not like a punching bag, but some kind of punching dummy kind of thing. But everyone in the JoJo's is like noticing, like, what the fuck? What did she take? Like steroids this morning before she came in here? She's all fired up. Probably a little heat from getting dumped by Robbie, you know what I mean? But we're gonna see that who's back in the dojo making his return to Cobra Kai? Stingray, baby. Stingray is back. And he gets a hero's friggin' welcome. As soon as he walks in, Terry Silver's just like, hey, this guy, he's what Cobra Kai is all about, baby. Loyalty, doing the right thing, yada, yada. Makes everybody give him a big round of applause, treats him like a hero. And then we find out he's going to, he passes off. He says, hey, Tori, run class for me. I'm going to talk to my guy here. Takes him off to the side. And we find out he hooked him up with a nice crib, hooked Stingray up with a nice pad. And then that's not it. He's going to take him out back, and he's got another gift for him. He bought him fucking Johnny's Cobra Kai Challenger, the one that he painted out. He bought him the car, gives it to Stingray, and inside the trunk, a special Cobra Kai gi. Stingray emblem on it and everything, his name, the whole nine. So Terry Silver taking care of his guy.
Yeah, I thought this was a great way to start episode 5 because it's like now you're starting your midway point of the season,
Yep.
and you're still introducing new characters. Honestly, like that was the last thing I thought of when I saw Stingray come on the screen. I was like, oh shit! I was like, I forgot all about Stingray, and like it's just such a good way to start an episode that's like you're starting your 5th episode of the season. You're still introducing new characters for the season, which was great. But that being said, it was kind of a tough scene just because I like Stingray, but it made him look like such a scumbag, and just like it was tough to watch because it's like he's taking this money and taking all these things from Terry Silver, and it's just like, come on, man, like you're better than that, Stingray.
Yeah, I honestly though that was one of the, like I'm normally a pretty big Kreese guy, even though he's like a scumbag. I like him for the scumbag that he is. One thing that did genuinely bother me though was when he was a douche to Stingray and kicked him out for like literally no reason.
Yeah,
like Stingray, he's been nothing but cool to the dojo. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He helped
Kreese is just
win
big
the-
on strength and power and stuff like that. Like the second you show that you're not able to be elite or at least be able to defend yourself and stuff like that, he's just like, all right, he just gives up on you almost.
Yeah.
So.
It was messed up. I didn't like that, but I get what you're saying now. You know what I mean? But he wanted to be in Cobra Kai so bad. He had to do what he had to do. Now he's being rewarded for it. You know what I mean? He took a beating. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's gross though.
Yeah, it's tough. It is tough, but I'm happy to have Stingray back. Like I said, I love Stingray. He's one of my guys, and I'm glad to see. At least he's getting. At least now he's getting some rewards. I'm glad. I'm glad to see he's doing all right. But we're gonna go to a pretty funny scene. Johnny again. We're going to see Robbie sitting at an Olive Garden. Who's going to walk in but Miguel, and then Johnny following right after. And he tricked the boys into showing up to Olive Garden. Yeah. And he goes, I thought our last trip went so well, I thought we would take another one. And the boys, what the hell are you talking about? And sure enough, who comes over but this wicked enthusiastic waiter from the Olive Garden. He's like, I'll give you some pasta, we'll go to Rome. We'll do this, we'll go here.
The tour of Italy.
He goes, I'll take you on, your taste buds will take you on a tour. And you can just tell that Johnny's just like looking up the guy, just like loving the whole thing. Just like, hell yeah, I'm going to Italy. Like you said, kind of a dumb guy. He's just all in on it. But the boys, they have no interest. And sure enough, Johnny's like, what the hell, man? This guy's giving you all this effort and you can't even, give him a smile or something like that. And sure enough, they end up walking off. They just end up leaving him there. Didn't work. Going to have to keep trying. Olive Garden, not going to do the trick. The breadsticks aren't going to get it.
Yeah, I thought the breadsticks would bring them together, Brings my family together.
It was so funny though. Just the waiter, everything. The waiter and Johnny. Johnny just looking at the waiter, just like so, like, almost like a child. You know what I mean? Just like, oh my god, yes, this sounds great, magical. We're gonna go to a scene that I really enjoyed. LaRusso being a big old bitch. He's doing the typical "my wife just left me" thing. He's gonna wake up late. He looks like he hasn't shaved in a day or two. He's got the 5 o'clock stubble going on for the first time in the entire show. He goes downstairs. First thing he does, pours himself a glass of whiskey, sits down at the counter, starts drinking. Chosen comes up, like, come on, man, it's gonna be all right. You can't just beat yourself down like this. The family's gonna come back. We have problems to deal with. You know what I mean? You can't just drink yourself into a stupor. What are you gonna do? Turn into Johnny? But basically, he's gonna give him a little pep talk, and then he's gonna find on the counter, shifting through the mail, someone sent a newspaper clipping of the Kreese trial, of Kreese being accused and going to jail, and it's got a little courtroom drawing of Stingray, which is very funny, and it's got liar scribbled all across it, and then something else, Terry Silver something, like basically pointing the finger at Terry Silver and saying that there was more to do with it. So very interesting, like who sent it, you know what I mean, right away. But Chosen's kind of just like, hey, we gotta look into this, you know what I mean. This could be the key to bringing down Terry Silver. Maybe if he lied, if he did something to do this, this is like an actual crime. Kreese is in jail. We can get, this could be the whole solution.
Very true.
Finally gets Danny. All right, fine. Stumbles out in his friggin' sweatpants and his hoodie like a loser. But we see now we're going to go to Amanda. Amanda is, in fact, at her mom's. She's in Ohio. She's there with the kids. They're chilling. And we are going to find out that her cousin, it turns out, is none other than Jessie, who was Daniel LaRusso's girlfriend in Karate Kid 3. Turns out that's actually how Daniel LaRusso and Amanda met, was through her. So I was like, oh, shit. Love that. Another character we're bringing back from from the past. Always love to see those. But they're going to go out. They're going to go out to a little dinner and stuff. But it was cool to just have, it was a cool intro. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Totally took me by surprise.
Yeah. Like you said, episode 5, they're still introducing new characters.
Yeah. Like I said, dude, someone that we haven't seen. Obviously, she was only in the third one, you know what I mean? But still, I love that they keep just pulling back characters. You know what I mean? And at first, I thought they were just kind of. I didn't know what they were bringing her back for. I didn't know if they were just bringing her back just to bring her back. But I feel like how they're going to kind of work her in is actually the perfect thing because we are dealing with the same scenario right now that we were dealing with in Karate Kid 3.
Precisely.
Terry Silver being a lunatic. But
I love the callbacks in the show. Like, they're so great. Like,
They're
they
awesome.
do such a great job of combining new material with the older material.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. They do such the guys just you can just tell that the guys that like do the show like just have a genuine love for, like the Karate Kid movies, you know what I mean? They know the material inside out. But we're going to go back to Johnny's apartment now for setup number 2. He basically is, he's already got Robbie living with him, so he's already where he needs to be. But then he lures Miguel in, says, Miguel's like, Robbie's not here. He's like, no, I told you he wasn't here, you know what I mean? Closes the door. Turns out Robbie is there. And what does Johnny do? He reversed the door handles on the door so they're locked from the outside.
Yeah.
There's only one key. He takes the key and throws it in the garbage disposal. And he says that he glued all the windows shut, which it turns out he actually did. And when he first said it, I was like, did he actually do it or did he leave an escape route and try to like question him? It turns out he actually is going to glue them shut. But it's very funny. He basically says to the boys that he was looking up online. He's always this guy in this fucking internet now. It's like you can tell he's the guy who just found the internet for the first time. Any problem that comes up, he's just fucking how to solve. But he says an escape room is the best way to bring people together for bonding. So he basically starts pitching his plot for the escape room. And Miguel's like, dude, this is the plot to an old movie. It's like Young Guns 2. That's what it is. And Johnny's like, shit, you've seen that movie? He's like, yeah, with you.
Johnny's just such a clown. I love it.
He absolutely is. It was so great. But obviously, they're going to kind of start getting into they're going to start, bickering, arguing back and forth. Robbie actually says, this kid's going to end up getting his ass kicked, yada, yada, yada. Then who busts through the door? Johnny wasn't planning this whole thing by himself. It was such an elaborate plan, his escape room. Miguel's grandmother comes bursting in, all dressed up as a cowboy.
Yeah. with a script ready to go.
I thought that was so funny. I wasn't expecting that at all, man. She just busts through the door, completely in character. Huge smile across her face. Probably the most excited she's been for anything in a while.
Yeah.
Knowing her probably smoked a joint before it too. But as soon as Miguel kind of sees that the door is open, he's gonna use that. He bangs out of there. He's out. And then the grandmother follows him and then accidentally closes the door. And now Johnny and Robbie are locked in by themselves. But pretty funny.
Yeah.
Good scene. I
Good
enjoyed
scene.
it. We're going to go to Stingray's new place. We're going to go check out Stingray's pad.
What a place.
No shit. Turns out Daniel and Chosen, I don't know where, but they spotted him somewhere in town. You know what I mean? Car's probably pretty easy to identify.
Yeah, tough to miss.
Yeah. So they end up following him back to his pad. They're like, all right, what's going on here? This guy's got a Cobra Kai car, even though Cobra Kai is supposedly the people that put him like in the hospital and almost like killed him. And now he's got this sweet new pad. So they're going to go knock up on the door. Stingray's like, shit. He lets him in. And basically, LaRusso and Chosen are kind of going to be like, hey, like, what happened here? You know what I mean? Is there more to the story here? You know what I mean? I got this newspaper clipping. They're kind of pointing the finger that someone might be lying. And Stingray's going to defend this guy. He doesn't do it very confidently. He's very kind of like nervous the whole time. But he's going to defend Terry Silver and say like, nah, Terry Silver's karate is way better than Kreese's. It's about loyalty. But LaRusso's going to kind of get fed up. And he's going to turn into a bit of an asshole. You know what I mean? He's lost his family. He's mad. He's drunk probably. He's been drinking a lot. And he's gonna snap. He's gonna kind of go to attack Stingray or make it look like he's going to. And Stingray, being the nervous guy that he is, very jumpy. He was just mauled. He like falls backwards, breaks his PlayStation 4. He's super sad about it. That broke my heart. I don't like to see a sad Stingray.
PlayStation 4.
So sad. Yeah, even in Cobra Kai can't even get a PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
I got
no
one.
shit.
You got one too, actually. Huh? We can get paid.
Thank God. Hey, shout out Seth Rogers. Love you.
That's right.
Oh my Lord.
That's right.
Dude, we were driving to Walmart's. You included. We were driving to Walmart's at fucking 4 a.m. trying to get PlayStation 5s.
A few times.
For like a year. Could not get one. So shout out Seth Rogers. Snag me a PS5. Love you.
Yeah. But Stingray, unfortunately, couldn't get that model. Had the PS4, but now it's unfortunately shattered. He's all sad about it, which broke my heart. Like I said, I don't like to see sad Stingray. That makes me sad. And then Danny's going to kind of keep almost yelling at him while he's on the ground. And Chosen's like, dude, come on. You're not being yourself, man. This isn't us. Let's get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? We got to... This guy, look at him. He's a bought man. You know what I mean? He's bought and paid for. We aren't turning this guy. You know what I mean? Let's get out of here. So they skedaddle. But like I said, like to see that Stingray's living a nice pad, but I don't like to see him having his PlayStation broken. You know what I mean? He also seems like he's living in fear, which I don't.
Tough bitch.
You know what I
Your
mean?
fucking PlayStation broke. You're living in a fucking $5,000 a month apartment for free.
Got a food
Driving
on
around,
table.
yeah, driving around a banging fucking Mustang
Yeah.
or Dodge Charger, whatever that is.
Probably not paying for a dime of it, I would imagine.
No, no, Stingray's got it good right now.
Yeah, true. But we see back at Johnny's house, he is still locked in. He's trying to literally scrape the glue off of the window to try and escape. And who's going to show up but Daniel LaRusso? And Danny's going to kind of, tell him, like, what's going on and say, hey, like, I kind of need your help. Wicked funny. He kind of, says, hey, listen, like, this is everything that's going on. Johnny's like, I'm out. I'm done with karate. We lost the tournament. Daniel's like, you can't be done. Like, you're the one that opened up Pandora's box. And Johnny goes, I don't know who Pandora is or what's in her box.
So, dude, have you never heard of that? Like, how has he never heard of that in his entire life?
But Danny's kind of being all tough with him and stuff. He's like, Johnny, where's the old Johnny? Like, what, losing one tournament, like, turn you into a pussy? Like, he literally goes, do I need to kick your ass to, like, wake you up? And Johnny kind of starts to, and then he settles down. He shows that he's the new dad. You know what I mean? He's like, LaRusso, what the hell? What are you doing, man? You sound crazy. Why you coming in here? You're friggin' threatening to kick my ass. What's going on here? You're not right. What's going on? So it's very funny. That's the beginning of that kind of role reversal that I was kind of saying. You know what I mean? He actually mentions too. He goes, you look rough. You know what I mean? He goes, did Amanda let you let you out of the house looking like that? And he goes, there is, like, Amanda's gone. She wasn't there to stop me. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how that scene ends. But it kind of leaves like Johnny like, oh shit, like Amanda left you. Some shit must be going on. You know what I mean? What the hell happened? Because obviously they're usually probably like the tight ones in his eyes. They're probably like the pinnacle of a relationship. I would imagine. They got it all: the house, the kids, the business. But we're going to go to Amanda and Jesse, and they are going to arrive at the Bosch. They got the kids with them too, but they're going to kind of screw off. They're going to go play like a video game or something like that. And Amanda Jesse asks, like, all right, so what's up? We ditched the kids. Where's Daniel? Why isn't Daniel here? Something's got to be going on. And Amanda brings up Silva and, kind of what's going on. And right away, Jesse's like, all right, you don't even know, like, the half of it. Like, I'm sure you've heard some of the stories, but then kind of tells her side of it. A lot more drama, you know what I mean? It's much heavier. You can tell it, like, Amanda's like, oh, shit, like, I didn't know it was all that, you know what I mean? And you can tell that she's kind of already starting to a little, like, maybe second guess herself. Like, maybe I was a little too hard on him, you know what I mean? Maybe I didn't quite understand what this Terry Silva guy is capable of, you know what I mean? But interesting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And it's good that's, like I said, perfect way. Like, I was trying to see where Jesse was going to fit in, if it was for no reason, just to bring her back. But that's already, like, the perfect way. It's like, oh, yeah, it makes perfect sense. Like, she dealt with this guy firsthand. Now she can explain exactly what she dealt with and why Amanda should, be a little bit more lenient with him. But we're going to go back to Johnny and Daniel, and we're going to have a good little... Johnny's going to give him some good advice, you know what I mean? Kind of tells, the family's going to work out, like, basically kind of what I was saying, like how he looks up to them in a way, kind of, and, everything's going to work out. She'll come back. But Daniel looks like he kind of appreciated it. Looks like it's something he needed to hear. And then Johnny's going to mention that the boys are fighting. He's trying to... That's why he was locked in. That's why he was glued in. And he was saying that...
That's why he was glued in. That sentence is hilarious.
Awesome, right? Glued himself into his own friggin' house. I love him. He's the best. Garbage disposal is the key. But basically, he's going to say, the boys are fighting. I can't... I tried bringing in the breadsticks. It didn't work. Nothing's working. I don't know what to do. And LaRusso's like, you're going to figure that out. Whether it is by the new Johnny, computer-style Johnny, or it's going to be the old classic Johnny. And Johnny's like, I thought you didn't like that guy. And he's like, he's starting to grow on me. But if you ever tell anybody that, I'm going to kick your ass for real. And it's not going to be tournament style. It's going to be till the finish. And then he goes, maybe that's what me and you should have done back in the day to settle this whole thing. Instead of doing this whole tournament 3 points, maybe we should have just fought until, we got it out of our systems. And he says that, and Johnny kind of gives a look like, it's an idea. That's an idea. But it was good that it seems like they both kind of needed a little bit of advice, and it seems like they both kind of got it from the other guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, their relationship is forming too. Like they're becoming a little bit closer.
Definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. From where they started, big time. Like I said, LaRusso said as much. He was like, he's starting to grow on me. Even the old classic Johnny. You know what I mean? The punch
like, look at him. Like, his wife's gone, and who's he go to
Johnny.
to seek help from?
Yep.
Johnny.
Very true. And it seems like he's ready to get back into the game a little bit, though, LaRusso. And it seems like he's ready to get back into the game, and he doesn't want to do it alone. He wants to do it with Johnny, you know what I mean? He wants his partner back. But that was a good scene, like I said. More of that role reversal that I was talking about. Johnny kind of being the more level-headed guy, and LaRusso being a little bit more the feisty, ready-to-fight one, you know what I mean? But we're going to go back to the bar, and basically we have friggin' Mini LaRusso there telling Sam that he's been getting bullied and shit like that. Sam's like, oh, well, I can probably teach you some things. And I'm just like, great, we're going to have to watch those scenes. That sounds awful. The only thing worse than just Sam LaRusso is Sam LaRusso and her brother.
Yeah, no kidding.
Ugh, just terrible. But Amanda and Jesse are being just like kind of almost like harassed by this pack of local girls that seem like they all hung out in high school together, but now they're like in their 40s or 50s and are still like in the same pack, you know what I mean? But basically they're going to start giving them some shit. And then Amanda and Jesse are going to stand up for themselves. We have ourselves a little, not a karate fight, but a little push-off contest in the bar. The girls start shoving each other, throwing each other around a little bit. And then, there's 5 of them, only 2 of us. And Amanda kind of ends up getting grabbed by 2 of the girls. One's got her legs laying on the ground, holding their ankles like a little kid. The other one's got her arms behind. And the big one's about to go, and she's like, all right, I'm going to kick your ass. And right as she's about to go, and Molly Wappa, who comes in to save the day. The first time I was like, good job, you did something good. Sam LaRusso comes in with a nice kick and sends the girl flying.
Yeah, kicks her right into the bar. Gets her pretty good.
Yeah. I think even Amanda's like, she's like, oh shit.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this is the first scene this entire season that I actually was like, good job, Sam. I don't completely hate your guts.
Yeah, no, definitely. You gotta stick up for your mama, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, that's what all of your actual Miyagi-Do karate training's for, you know what I mean? You don't start the fight, but if the fight comes to you, you gotta stand up for yourself.
Plus, I genuinely didn't even think she was there because I figured she'd just be at home moping.
But yeah, they're gonna kind of skedaddle out of that bar, but that's gonna kind of end that scene for them. From there, we're gonna go back to the best part of the episode. One of the best parts of the entire season. We're going to go back to Johnny, and he's going to go outside of his apartment building. Starts the scene off wicked funny, too, which I like. The best way to get these boys both out at the same time, we're going to blow an air horn as loud as we fucking can. Get everybody out of the apartments. One guy comes out, Johnny's just like, get the fuck back inside. But gets Miguel and Robbie out there. He's like, all right, boys, no tournament points, no more nothing. We're going to fight right here, right now. We're going to settle this. And I was just like, oh, shit.
Let's go.
Right here, literally.
Let's see it. Let's get it.
No mats, no nothing. There's like, concrete all around and shit like that. It's people's houses, obviously. You know what I mean? Obviously, the boys aren't like in karate gear. They're like in, jeans and shit. Not that they haven't fought in that before, but you know what I'm saying? Just kind of fucking, all right, let's get it on. You know what I mean? And we're going to have, my boy versus your boy. A good friggin' fight scene. A good ass fight scene. Both guys get a couple of good licks in. They're going to friggin' end up battling all the way up a staircase. And we're gonna get a kind of a resemblance scene to in season 2? Yeah, when Robbie's gonna kick Miguel over the staircase in the school. Now we got Miguel. He's kind of starting to win the fight here. He's got him up against the railing. He's just leveling him. I'm like, oh my god, is he gonna knock him off? But Miguel, being the awesome man that he is, stops, and that's the end of the fight right there. But Miguel gets the better of Robbie again.
Yeah.
Again, your boy goes down.
Yeah, Robbie was kicking his ass, though, most of that fight. Once again, Robbie, hesitates, and he feels bad kicking Miguel's ass, and then that's ultimately what does him in.
Robbie landed a couple of good hits.
Yeah, Robbie had that one move where he fucking jumps off the wall and kicks him across the face. Robbie could smoke Miguel any day of the week. He's got a heart, He took it easy on Miguel.
He's got a heart. He almost crippled the kid.
Hey, he's got a heart. That was by accident, Hey. Almost the key word there.
True.
Almost crippled the kid.
Almost, man. Not quite. It's going to take more than that to take out my boy. You know what I mean? Miguel's tough.
I almost won the lottery,
But awesome fight, like I said. And Miguel, like I said, he's going to get the better of him. But, it ends, and Robbie they have a little conversation real quick. And Robbie Robbie apologizes for what happened at the school. And he says that it wasn't just the worst day of Miguel's life, but it was also the worst day of his life. And Miguel's like, all right, you know what? I can respect that. You're apologizing. Like, let's squash it. Like, we're good. And it turns out the 2 kids that have kind of been battling now since season 1, over girls, over dad, over friggin' everything, karate tournaments, finally on the same page. It worked. Johnny's, I guess LaRusso's plan LaRusso's plan worked. The boys fought it out. No tournament points. They fought till the end, and now we're good.
Yeah, I like to see it. It's the first time in this entire series, that Robbie and Miguel have actually, been friendly towards each other and come to an agreement of some sort. So
Definitely the first time. And it was, I think that's what exactly needed to happen. They just needed to get it out of their systems, you know what I mean? But like I said, awesome fight scene, good scene overall. Cool to see the boys. They're going to be on the same side now. Let's see how that, you know what I mean? Obviously, Miguel's tight with Hawk, too. We're going to have to mend that bridge now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Him and Hawk have some history now, too, obviously.
Let's go, though. We're going to have a nice little team.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get there. They definitely got some beef, too, though. Between, they just fought in the All Valley against one another, obviously. That was a good fight. But then in Season 1, first All Valley, Hawk ends up gets ejected because he ends up giving that illegal kick when Robbie's walking off, you know what I mean? Ends up hurting his shoulder, too.
Yep.
So, definitely some bad blood there. But we're going to go back to Ohio, and we're going to find out that, Jesse and Amanda are going to kind of continue their conversation, basically. And she's really going to drive home, you need to be there for him, man. You need to be there for Daniel because this guy's, dangerous. It's not, something that you guys can run away from. You know what I mean? You got to stand with him. And Amanda's like, yeah, I definitely didn't understand this, the seriousness of the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like she's going to be hopefully heading back home with the kids to go back with her man. You know what I mean?
Amanda's a ride or die.
She is.
I love Amanda.
She just needed a little time away, a little breather. She got a little information. You know what I mean? She found out what she needed to know, and now she's like, all right, let's go fucking. Now she seems like actually she's kind of like, all right, let's go get this guy. You know what I mean? Which she's already been that way before with Kreese before. Now it's with Silva. She's already kind of like, all right, let's go get this guy. So
yeah, maybe that that the fight at the bar kind of made her realize, sometimes you got to fight back.
It's true.
Sometimes you got to fight back.
That's true. We go to Carmen's apartment, and she walks in from work, and what does she see? A shocking sight, I'm sure. We got Robbie, we got Miguel, we got Johnny, we got Grandma. We're all eating dinner together. And she's like, what the hell? How did you get this? How did you do this? He's like, it was LaRusso's idea. You know what I mean? And she goes, you guys are talking? He goes, we haven't been, but he came by today, and he goes, I think we're going to have to get the band back together, basically. He realized that LaRusso, what he came to his apartment for, we have to settle this shit with Silva, you know what I mean? And now he's got his boys together. Going to be a piece of cake for him, you know what I mean? But it seems like the Karate Boys are going to be back in action after taking some time off after losing the All Valley in Season 4.
Let's go.
And then we go to our next scene, which was the second big moment of this episode. Massive, massive moment. We find out that Daniel is kind of upset with himself about how he treated Stingray earlier in the day. He was a little over aggressive. He wants to make up for it. So he shows up at Stingray's apartment with a brand new PS4, which I was like, all right, points back. I respect that.
Should have bought him the PS5, man.
Couldn't get his hands on it. Yeah, too tough. Too tough. But he's, Stingray, what's going on? Stingray, nowhere to be found. He's not there. But who is there? Terry Silva's there. And Terry Silva's like, you're coming in on my troops? She's like, you're trying to mess with my guys, my made men here, you know what I mean? No. Fight time. Fight breaks out. Second one of the episode, we got a big fight here in Stingray's house. Silva versus LaRusso. And LaRusso gets his ass whooped.
Yeah, he does.
Not nearly as much of as a back and forth as as Miguel and Robbie just was. This was much more of an ass whooping. Daniel might land one little punch or something like that. But other than that, Silva whips him. Gives him a beat down. And kind of says, there's no getting out of this. Daniel's kind of like saying, I'm done with the whole thing. It seemed like he brought the PlayStation back. He just wants to get his wife back. He's like, I ain't going to be into this karate thing. Johnny just kind of talked him off the ledge a little bit, you know what I mean? He calmed him down. He's supposed to be sending Chosen back. He's actually, Chosen's getting ready to go back home. He's going to send Chosen home. So it seems like he's kind of done with the whole karate thing. So it was like, nah, guy, that's not happening. You're already in, dude. That's not, there's no getting out of this. But I'd like to see LaRusso get his ass kicked, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, no, it was a good scene. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, LaRusso punched through that wall at one point. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, they're really building up Terry Silver too to be a diabolical bad guy. So,
dude, that guy can still move, man. And I was telling Steph, she was watching that episode with me. He was throwing a bunch of. He always throws a bunch of kicks because that's obviously his go-to thing. Those legs of his, man, are so fucking long, dude.
Oh yeah.
Imagine getting hit with one of those friggin' kicks. Take your head just clean off, dude. My God.
Yeah, he's looking like a force. He's looking like a force to reckon with because not only can he play the mental games and beat you that way. terrorize your life playing Mental Warfare, but
still whip that ass.
Yeah, you can still whip that ass, exactly.
You know what I mean? Then we go to the very last scene of the episode, where it's a very interesting one. We have Tori, and she's kind of talking. We don't know who she's talking to right away, but she's saying that basically she's saying, A, I'm scared of the dojo that I'm at because Silva kind of fucking terrifies me. I just lost a guy that I like. I don't know like where to go from here. I don't know like what to do. And she's basically saying like, is there an end game to all of this? And I'm like, who the hell is she talking to? And it turns out she is at the prison. She's visiting Kreese and she's talking to Kreese. And Kreese tells her, oh yeah, there's an end game. First time we see of John Kreese this season. First time he popped on in. So always good to see him. Now he's in jail, but good to see him anyway. Nice way to end the episode. A lot of characters popping in this episode.
Yeah, exactly. Big episode for that.
Stingray at the beginning, Jesse in the middle, Kreese at the end. But we're gonna get some more Kreese now in the second half of the season. But it shows that Tori's still following her true sensei, her first sensei. She hasn't switched.
Yeah, I love that.
So, like I said, good episode. I didn't hate it. I'd never hate any of these episodes, so I shouldn't say that. But like I said, just not my favorite episode. A little bit on the slower side. The two fights were, the highlight of the episode and some of the highlights of the season. So definitely salvage.
Yeah, I still enjoy the episode. I thought it was pretty good. Introduced some new characters. Had a couple fight scenes. Still building up the storylines here. We're only halfway through the season, so
Yeah.
I thought it was a solid episode 5. Just because I said, some shows definitely throw in some really slow episodes, and I feel like Cobra Kai did a pretty good job avoiding that this season. So.
Yeah. I would definitely agree, especially when it's the second season that they did in the year. They filmed almost virtually back to back. You know what I mean? So they obviously, I'm sure like the writing process was probably really quick too in between. It's not like they had a ton of time. So
Yeah.
they're probably working real quick. And now I'm hearing that there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus between now and season 6. So I guess they're working on a different project for Netflix.
Nice.
I'm going to grab another one of these. How's that? You want to try to open that window?
Yeah.
See how it is out there.
Yeah, there was a truck that was coming by earlier.
Yeah, I heard that. That was a little obnoxious. But get a little air in here. Get a little air in here. We're making good swift time. So we're on to episode 6 here. Ouroboros. Another episode again, a little bit on the slow side. We're going to get a lot of John Kreese in this stuff. One thing that I do like about it that I was looking forward to from the second I saw it in the trailer that we're going to get in this episode is we're going to get our Johnny and Chosen team up, which I was excited about. So that was definitely the highlight of this episode for me for sure. But definitely one of the weaker ones of the season so far. I'd probably put it at the weakest one so far, in my opinion.
Johnny and Chosen is such a dope combo.
Yeah, it really is. They're so perfect together. But we're going to open up at an airport hangar. And Terry Silva has flown in some top-notch senseis who are familiar with his style. They were trained by the same master. They've been trained there basically like their whole life. And they showed up in America. They've been flown in. They've been given the whole, the nice private plane. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get introduced to Sensei Kim Do-eun, who's going to be a big player in the second half of the season. She's a badass. She kind of scares me. I'm not going to lie. She's very intimidating. We're also going to see in her group of senseis that come following her out, our second UFC cameo of the season. We got Tyrone Woodley as one of the senseis. As soon as I saw him, I was like, what the fuck? We're just pulling UFC fighters out left and right. But clearly these guys must be pretty big fans of the show.
Yeah, I love Tyrone Woodley. That's a great addition to the show.
Just sitting there in his gi, just a security guard.
Does he? Yeah, I won't get into it. I don't want to give any spoilers, so I won't say what I was about to say. But yeah, no, that's a great cameo. I like that.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, the more the better.
Yeah, I liked it. But
I just like to see too that like there's so many fans
of the
out
show
there. Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Yeah, dude. I noticed it on Twitter all the time. So many like just celebrities tweeting about the show. It's so funny. I've seen a couple of, I can't remember like who said what, but I remember one of them saying like, I never thought in a million years I'd get so much entertainment and joy out of watching a bunch of kids from rival dojos fight over a valley in karate.
Yeah.
I think that would have been, who's the girl from The Office? I think it might have been her. Was it Mindy Kaling or something like that? Is that her name? I can't think of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It was I think it was one of the people from The Office though. But regardless, Silva's kind of rolled out the red carpet for these guys, and the first thing that Kim Do-eun's going to ask him is, like, where's Kreese? He's like, Kreese is no longer with us. She's like, it's kind of disappointing, you know what I mean? But he's going to offer her basically a business partnership. He's going to say, you're going to be my 50-50 partner, and it's not just that, because she said she's not just here for money. He goes, it's not just that. He goes, you have a shot at legacy here. He goes, our master, he trained us in this way for just more than the people over there to see it. The whole world should see it. America should see it. And he goes, you can help me, spread our legacy, our training, our style throughout the world. And she basically just says, hey, you think your American kids are up to the task? And he says, yeah. So we're going to have to see. I bet Tori is, but I don't know about the rest of these kids. Maybe Kenny. But.
This chick scares the shit out of me. She's got resting bitch face, and she just terrifies me the entire show.
Yeah, she's tough, too. We're going to find out pretty quick that she's very, very, very tough. We're going to go to the LaRusso household for a pretty funny scene. We got Amanda, we got Chosen, we got Johnny, we got Sam LaRusso. They're all kind of like making battle plans here to like how we're going to strike back on Silva. Now everyone's on board. The whole team's together. Amanda's back. Johnny and Chosen are here. Everyone's on board. Danny comes downstairs in a friggin' work suit, and he's like, all right, I'm going to work. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's just like, I'm done with karate. Huh? You're done with karate? What are you talking about? Your wife's here now. She's, backing you. She's ready to support you. It's not a problem with the family anymore. Your longtime karate rival is here. He's on your side. A guy that you fought to the death in Okinawa, he's here. He's on your side. What do you mean you're done with karate? What a time this guy, LaRusso. Dude, what a loser.
Yeah.
Loser.
The loser.
Loser. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. He ends up just leaving him there. Just leaves the little team meeting. Doesn't even pay him any mind. Just goes, I'm going to work. See you later, guys. I'm done with karate.
Yeah, he's a loser.
What a bitch. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
Stock's dropping.
Yeah. Especially, like I said, with the wife back, you would think that's all you need. Once the woman's back and she's like, honey, I'm behind you. You know what I mean? That should be all he needs to hear. Nope. But we're going to go back to the prison, and we're going to see Tori's paying him another visit. But basically, Tori's saying, how long am I going to do this for? She's like, I'm scared. I don't want to do this anymore. And it seems like she doesn't even want to be a part of Cobra Kai. She's only doing this because she has this plan going with Kreese. So she probably just, she's real upset now that Robbie left too. You know what I'm saying? She's like, all right, I lost my boyfriend. I don't even want to be here. Like, what is the end game? You know what I'm saying? But basically, Kreese says that, he's got a plan. He's going to be getting out of jail soon. We don't know how it's going to be yet. But then he also says that just stay behind enemy lines. He's like, I know it sucks. I've done it a long time myself. But you just got to stay behind enemy lines. Keep watching Silva because eventually he's going to slip up. And when he does, you got to be there to see it. So I'm very curious to see how Kreese is going to try to get out of jail. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing I was very curious about. I was like, what is this plan that you got? You know what I mean? But I was like, didn't you just get in there? Regardless. We're going to go to...
Do we actually know how long he...
was in jail for?
Or is in jail for?
It couldn't have been like long because I mean at least for how I don't know how long he was sentenced for. I know he hasn't been in there that long just because it was right after the All Valley in season 4 and now it's only the summer.
That's interesting that they don't give you that tidbit of information how long he's sentenced for.
True.
Us as an audience isn't given any sort of time frame as to when he's going to get out.
Yeah, it's probably because he's going to get out way too soon. And we
Could
can't
be.
question it, you know what I mean?
Could be.
But this guy's in there for assault. He would have gotten like 10 years. We're like, yeah, but we need him out like now. We can't do that, you know what I mean? We're going to go to a new dojo, a dojo we've never seen before, but we've seen the school in the All Valley. We're going to go to Topanga Karate. And we're going to see that Devin, who was training with Eagle Fang, Johnny's girl there, that he was training up to be a little bit of a killer. She was looking pretty fierce at the end of season 4. Since Eagle Fang is shut down, she has decided to join Topanga Karate. And who's going to walk on in? But Terry Silva and his whole entourage. He's got all the new senseis. He's got a bunch of his students. And it turns out he is buying. He's buying out Topanga. So he's turning them right into Cobra Kai.
What a power move.
Yeah. He said he was going to, extend. He was going to branch out. So he extends. He branches out. He announces that he's going to be buying the place. The first thing he does is he replaces the sensei. The sensei's like, what the fuck? That wasn't a deal. You know what I mean? Too bad. You don't own the place anymore, bro. You're out. You know what I mean? Tough look. Silva's like, all right, anybody that wants a gi, step right up. You can get, you can get one just like that. Devin, she seems like she's not so sure. I don't know. I could have probably joined Cobra. She could have joined Cobra Kai right after the tournament if she wanted to, but here she is. So Terry's going to say, all right, you know what I mean? Train up these kids, see what they got. He's talking to new sensei Kim Do-eun, who just arrived. And he's going to say, Tori are with me, but before that they can leave, right away, Sensei Kim's like, no, 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 no. Tori stays here with me. I need her. I need her to see she's the champion. I need her to show me what these kids are made of. You know what I mean? Who's good, who's bad. So right away, Tori's going to get thrown into a little bit of the fire here. She's going to have to start doing some fighting. And she's obviously questioning her loyalty in general. She doesn't even want to be here, it seems like. So I'm sure she doesn't want to go whipping these kids' asses for Cobra Kai. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to go back to the LaRusso meeting at the house. And they see the Topanga Karate Takeover live on social media. They're apparently like broadcasting it.
On live stream on like YouTube or something.
Yeah, probably one of those senseis. Tyrone Woodley probably. Tyrone Woodley out there fucking live streaming the whole thing. But as soon as they see this, Johnny's like, hell yeah, let's go. This is an opening. They're there right now. Like, let's go. And Amanda's like, you can't just charge in there by yourself. That's a terrible decision. Chosen, tell him not to go. And then Chosen's like, I go with you. And there we go. Just like I've been waiting for since I saw her in the trailer. Johnny, Chosen, together, and they're off. So I'm very excited to see what they're going to do. But we're going to go back to the jail real quick. Kreese is basically getting made to be out to be like a bitch. These prison thug guys, they're going to come on over. They're going to take his jello. Kreese is just going to take it. I was shocked. I was like, really? But okay. We're going to see. He's going to be dealing with like basically a counselor, a little guidance counselor. And he's basically going to be trying to play the good guy card. That's his plan to get out of jail. He's going to be like, oh, yeah, I've been making friends real easy in here. These talks are really helping us out. I'm feeling so much better. I could be a nice part of society. Basically trying to get a good recommendation to get some leave early.
Yeah.
But the counselor kind of seems like a little suspect.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like, you're just saying this just to say this. You think you tell me what I want to hear? He's like, no, never. I would never do that. You kidding me? So right away, she seems like, I don't know about this guy. Good radar by this girl, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good radar. But I was surprised to see that was the big plan for Kreese. It was just kind of be like the good behavior card, you know what I mean? I thought we were going to get some crazy karate fucking hijack.
Yeah, a little riot.
A little riot, yeah.
A little jailhouse
some
riot.
kind of prison break or something, yeah. A little jailhouse riot. He also made a pretty funny reference in this that I found funny. Again, kind of tying the show back to the earlier parts of it. But he goes, yeah, he's like, she goes, the counselor mentions a lot of guys your age have a tough time here, And he's like, oh yeah, no. He's like, I'm tough. You can throw me through a glass window and I'll come out without a scratch, because he quite literally got kicked through a glass window and came out without a scratch. Yeah. I was like, nice. I was like, well done. Good play. But I thought that was pretty funny. We go back to the dojo. And Tori's going to try to teach up Devin a little bit. She's going to try to take her up under her wing a little bit. And Devin seems, like I said, she's unsure. She doesn't know if she wants to join Cobra Kai. Tori even asks, why don't you get a gi on? She's like, I don't know if I want to join you guys yet. You know what I mean? And then she's going to mention that her mom, unfortunately, passed away from cancer, which Tori, we know her mom is struggling. She's very sick, and she's doing a lot of work she's doing all of the work, you know what I mean? Taking care of her and all that. So that's something that these two characters can really relate to, you know what I mean? Some common ground for them. And it seems like, and like I said, Tori was already trying to train her a little bit, kind of take her under her wing. Now they have this common ground, so it seems like their relationship's going to grow a little bit, even though they had a good fight in the All Valley, you know what I mean? But I'm interested to see where those two characters are going to go with each other, because I don't know. I don't really want to see Devin and Cobra Kai, but it seems like that's probably what's going to happen. Johnny and Chosen, they showed up. They're here. They're at the dojo. Johnny's ready to just rush right on in. But actually, before he's ready to rush right on in, I actually forgot. This scene was hysterical because Johnny and Chosen are going to get out of the car. And the first thing that they're going to start doing is they're going to start basically they're going to have a one-off competition 2 times. The first time they're going to be bashing LaRusso. Chosen's like, I stole his wallet. Yeah. Johnny's like, I threw him off a cliff. Chosen's like, I fought him to the death. Chosen, I think Johnny goes something like, what are you, a ghost then? And then they kind of turn it. He goes, LaRusso showed me mercy. He's always like, he's a good guy. And then they start having a one-off competition on how he's such a good guy. Johnny's like, I once saw him take down an entire hockey team of 5 guys by himself. And Chosen's like, I saw him save a little girl in a hurricane. I love it. It's just the instant chemistry between these two guys. It's just like they always got to be better than the other one. They always got to be on top. You know what I mean?
love it.
But like I said, Johnny's going to be ready to rush right on in. Chosen's going to be like, hey, no, let's do some patience. You know what I mean? Let's wait for our time. We can't just go barging in there. There's a bunch of senseis in there. We got to, let's wait, let's watch, let's observe. Let's wait for the right time to strike. And Johnny's like, all right. You gets really worked up. You know, he really wants to rush in right away too, is because he sees Devin in there. He sees Devin. He sees his student in there. Takes it personally. You know what I mean? He definitely was growing a nice little relationship with that girl.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She was getting tough.
Yeah, he
real quick.
recruited her. You know, he put in the work to recruit her, and then he trained her, and
Yep. And they had a good like back and forth too, because she is super, super smart and she's so knowledgeable and all this shit. And like we said, Johnny's this dopey idiot, you know what I mean? So even like at that All Valley and stuff, she was like doing the math. He was like, I don't need math. And she's like, how would you get back into this thing? She's like, math. Points, you idiot. But very funny. We go back to the prison and we find out that Kreese is, I guess, already up on parole, like you were just saying. Who must have been a real short sentence. He must have got off real late. But basically, the counselor gave him a bad recommendation, said he's not ready to be released yet. So he goes and he's kind of like, yo, doc, what the fuck? And she says, like, yo, I know a guy who's just trying to, just trying to fool me. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want to get out of here, you're going to have to try harder than that. But we go back to the dojo. Sensei Kim, she's going to have a little test, a little demonstration here. She's going to get Tori and Devin to participate in a cool little challenge. I liked this scene. It was pretty cool. They're going to put like a stick down basically on just a little table, a little small table. And it is Devin's job to try and grab the stick to pick it up, and it is Tori's job to stop her under any means necessary. And at first, Tori's kind of taking it a little bit easy on her. Devin gets it like right away, and Sensei Kim like sees right through that shit. She's like, yo, what the fuck? Is that what a champion does? And then Tori kind of lets her have it. Tori gives her a good little ass whipping, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, champ's here, baby. Like, don't get her riled up,
champ
man.
to see it.
Don't get her riled up, man. Because once you do, it's hard to put that back in the bottle. You know, Jean doesn't go back in the bottle. But Devin ends up kind of just scampering off, running out of the dojo with her tail between her legs. So I'm not sure what we're gonna see of her, but I don't think she's a quitter. We're gonna go and we're gonna do an interesting scene here, one that I didn't necessarily love. We're going to go back to the counselor and Kreese in jail. And Kreese is going to be talking to her, but everything that she says basically is something that another character in the show could say to her, or say to him. So like it keeps rotating through different people, like talking to him. At first it's like the girlfriend that passed away when he was in the war. It goes to Silver at one point, goes to Tori at one point. And then at one point, the part that I didn't like is they did like a young CGI version of Johnny from back in the day. Like guy thing. But it's still William Zabka doing the voice. So obviously he doesn't sound like he did when he was 17 years old. He sounds like, a 50-year-old man. Yeah. It was just like, oh boy. I was like, this isn't great.
Yeah, they tried to sneak that one past you.
Yeah, there was their Luke Skywalker bringing him back with CGI moment, only it did not look nearly as cool.
Yeah, no.
I was just like, ooh, this didn't look great. But that scene was, it was, like I said,
maybe they just kept it because they thought it would be funny,
If anything, yeah, if they're going to play into the corniness factor, I guess that would be the best way to do it, because it definitely was kind of like, meh. I was like, oh boy, that was a little cringy. I didn't like that. Let's not do that again. But interesting. It seems like Kreese has a little bit of a revelation. You know what I mean? It seems like he kind of, all right, I got to make some changes. Something's got to change. But from there, we go back to the dojo, and Johnny and Chosen are going to go on in. They're going to head on in. Only one sensei left there, and they're going to ask, where Silva's at, and he's like, bro, you don't need to get, like, you're not going to get to Silva. And they're like, wow, you can get to me? Sure enough, Johnny's like, goes at him. Dude kind of fucking makes real quick work of Johnny.
Yeah.
Chosen comes up. They kind of have a better back and forth, but then he gets kind of the better of Chosen too. But then Johnny comes in, saves Chosen. Then they have a 2-on-1. The two of them able to overpower him and whip his ass. But fuck, man, it takes both of them, Johnny and Chosen. Yeah. They're supposed to be like the top-notch fighters, and they just struggled to take on this dude.
Yeah, exactly.
It was tough.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Nah, it's not good. And that's only one. They have a whole team of these guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit. But sure enough, that team's going to arrive. Sensei Kim, she shows up with the rest of the gang, and that's kind of like, all right, Chosen's like, all right, odds are against us, you know what I mean? We can't take on 6 or 7 of these guys. Let's get the hell out of here. But first little taste of these new senseis, man, and they seem fierce.
Yeah,
they
seem
seem
legit.
tough. Even the way that they were challenging the kids and stuff. When Tori and I was actually thinking of that too. When Tori was doing the stick challenge thing with Devin, and she starts hitting her at first, even after she picks it up, she was like whacking her with a different stick. She's like, harder, hit her harder. I was just like, Jesus, man. I was like, you really want to fuck this girl up?
Ruthless.
No kidding. But from there, we're going to go to Cobra Kai. And who shows up? Devin Devin's going to begin her Cobra Kai training. She shows up, and Terry brings over Tori, and he says, good job. The reason that she's here is because of you. She said that she specifically wants to train more with you because of what happened at the dojo the other day. And it's like, all right, like I said, this relationship seems like it's starting to blossom a little bit. The problem is, though, is Tori wants out of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, she's doing the exact opposite of what she really wants to do.
right. So that's going to be a problem now, you know what I mean? We're going to go back to the jail. Kreese is going to be interrupted again. He's in his cell this time, but the bullies come back for more. They're coming to mess around with him some more. But this time, Kreese ain't taking it. He already got his parole rejected, so now he's like, fuck that, I don't care. He whips a bunch of guys' asses. They chose to do it with the younger actor of Kreese that they showed in the flashback scenes, which I thought was probably a good call. The Martin Cove there, he doesn't look like he's moving as fast as he once moved, You know what I mean? So I'm sure filming that with him, where he's like fighting like 5 or 6 guys at once and fucking them all up, probably would have been tough to make it look good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they decided to go with the younger actor, which I thought was an okay move. I thought it still worked pretty good. They just tied that back into the counselor scene because that's like who came to him last was the younger version of himself. So he's kind of thinking I got to tap back into that guy a little bit, the soldier, you know what I mean? But whips all the guys' asses. Pretty funny, all the dudes that are watching the fight, all the surrounding prisoners, they all start chanting sensei, 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 sensei. I thought that was pretty funny. He picks up the main guy. He goes, you're going to give me your Jello from now on. Is that right? He's like, yes. Yes, what? Yes, sensei. But then we're going to go to our closing scene. Our closing scene for this episode. We're going to go to Amanda and Daniel. Amanda kind of tricked Daniel into coming to Miyagi-Do, the dojo. She brings him into Miyagi's old room.
Yep.
Almost like looks like it hasn't been touched. It's like going back in time, you know what I mean? Cranking the DeLorean up. Seems like it gets Daniel a little emotional. Amanda tells him a nice little story about, I think it was the night she said before they were going to get married. She was feeling nervous, and Miyagi, settled her right down. But then Robbie comes in, and Robbie's actually the guy I feel like that really pushed Daniel over the edge. He was like, I was a troubled kid. You gave me a job. You gave me a house. You taught me karate. You taught me how to not be an asshole, basically. And then Sam LaRusso comes in, and she's like, yeah, this is our fight, Dad. We're all ready to go. And he's like, what do you mean we're all ready to go? And he goes outside into the heart of the dojo, and the whole damn squad is there. Robbie, Miguel, Hawk, Chosen, Johnny. We got 3 senseis, a whole bunch of students. And it seems like class is back in session.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go is right. The biggest gang that we've ever seen so far.
Let's go, Miyagi-Do.
Yeah. Cobra Kai obviously expanding like crazy, adding students, adding dojos. But now Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, whatever you want to call it, seems like they're the biggest they've ever been. Like I said, 3 senseis. They got all the main fighters. They got the last 2 All-Valley champs, Miguel and Hawk. Robbie, a finalist both times. You know what I mean? So now they got some squad. Dimitri, Sam, unfortunately. Piss breath.
Ass face.
Yeah, that's right. Ass face. Yeah, all them. They're all there. But good. I like the good ending. Good ending for the episode. Definitely. I definitely liked the ending at least. The Kreese fight was good. And then this closing scene, having the boys finally get back together and everything's going, and now we're moving. Now we're like, all right, let's go. Now we're really cooking
things
the gas.
are moving. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. They're really starting to set it up for the backstretch of the season.
Yeah, definitely. And like I said, biggest crew we've had yet. So Cobra Kai, they might be in trouble. So now we're gonna dive into our last episode for today. We're gonna be doing episode number 7. Bad Eggs. Good episode. This is one of the other ones that I really, really, really liked. 4 and 7 were the 2 that I really liked from this set. But we're going to establish what is possibly the future of this show maybe in this episode.
Yep.
Me and you were wondering, how long can the show go on? The kids can only do the All Valley until they're 18. What are we going to do? Are they going to become senseis themselves? Are we going to keep introducing young characters? Where's the show going to go? And I think we're going to get an answer this episode. Yep. We're also going to see how different these 2 dojos train their students.
Yeah.
Big time. We're going to have some big training episode for both dojos, and they're going to handle it about as different as you can possibly handle it. But great Chosen episode too.
Yeah.
Great Chosen episode. I've been saying
Chosen absolutely kills it. Yeah, he just kills it.
Yeah, this was a real good one for him. The opening scene I actually really enjoyed too. We have like a monologue from both Danny and Johnny, and they're kind of going back and forth, and they're explaining the situation of the valley and everything like that. And we're kind of going through the kids training. They're all over here. One thing I thought was funny is they go by like a bake stand that Cobra Kai is hosting, and it's Piss Breath grabs like a cupcake and he's just like mowing it down. The other kid's just like looking at him like, "What the fuck, dude? It's Cobra Kai cupcake. You can't have that. No matter what. No treats, no nothing." But it was pretty funny because we got Little LaRusso still getting bullied. We got Kenny and Kyler and a couple of other the random Cobra Kai kids. They're going to grab him. They're going to give him a shit swirly. Not just a swirly. The most disgusting swirly I have ever seen in anything.
Yeah.
Just
It was nasty, but honestly, I loved it just because I fucking hate that kid. So I loved it.
I do hate him too.
And, yeah, I was shocked. I figured it when they picked him up. I was like, "Oh, nice, he's getting a swirly." And then they kicked open the door to that stall, and it just showed the toilet, and it was just blown up. And I was just like, "Oh no,
Gross. Just clogged.
no!"
Absolutely. Yeah. But they're showing how like Silva's like expanding more and more dojos. They got like a little, almost like a Game of Thrones map up, and they're planting little flags all over the valley where he's setting up all of his dojos. And then Amanda says she kind of cuts in. The monologue kind of ends. They're just in a, you don't know what room. They're just in this little room. You get Chosen, Johnny, Amanda, Daniel, and Amanda suggests that we might need to get some help from an outsider. And she's referring to Kreese. And you can tell Johnny and Daniel are like, "What? What are you, crazy?" Like, no way, we can't do that. And she's like, "Silva's a monster. And to get a monster, we need a monster." Chosen, "I can be monster." Amanda just like talking to a kid. She's like, "I'm sure you'd be a great monster, Chosen."
I can be monster.
I thought that was so friggin' funny. But it turns out we're going to try and go get some help from Kreese, it looks like. And then the other thing I thought was funny, I say that room. It turns out the room that they were in was at the dealership because a random customer pokes his head in and he goes, "Guys, I'm trying to buy a car if there's anyone that will come and help me." Just kind of reminding us that they do, in fact, own a dealership and that they do have to sell cars. But I was like, that's a good call. We haven't done any of that in a long time. It's been a while since we've been at the dealership. You know what I mean? But cool little funny scene. We're going to go to Miyagi-Do. And Chosen is going to have a little training session of his own. No other senseis, just Chosen and the kids. And basically, he's going to give all the kids an egg. And their goal is to protect the egg at any costs. And they ask, what are they protecting it from? From me.
Yeah.
Chosen.
Me. You protect from me.
So that's going to be tough. That's going to be a tough training session.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I would try to do.
Pretty funny, too. I can just expect that it's going to be hilarious leading into it.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like my brain thought right away. I was just like, I don't know what I would do. I would try to dig a hole. He gives us some time to go prepare. I would just start like digging in the dirt with my bare hands. Or try to find a shovel and just bury it as deep in the dirt as I could. But we're going to go to Cobra Kai. And we're going to kind of bounce back and forth between the two JoJos this episode, like I said, because they're both kind of doing their training, but they're very, very different. Devin's kind of trying to warm up to Tori. But Tori's kind of being cold to her, and Devin's like, what's the deal? And Tori's going to say, like, yo, this place is dangerous. Like, I'm trying to get out. And Devin, like, almost seems like she doesn't believe her. She's like, oh, well, you don't want you don't want a challenge, you know what I mean? Someone's going to come in here and take your shine. But, nope, she's really looking out for her. And then we see that Kyler's still doing his stupid alpha male thing. He's walking around the dojo like he's hot shit. And then it's kind of, we find out Silva is talking to Sensei Kim, and it's like, all right, it's time to test these kids out. It's time to find out who's going to rise to the top.
Yeah, let's see who the cream of the crop is.
That's exactly right. All of our top dogs, aside from Tori, have all left. So now it's kind of time to see, like, is Kyler really going to be the top dog? Is someone else going to step up? Is Devin going to challenge Tori to be the top dog? You know what I mean? Who's going to be the alphas here? But we're gonna go see Kreese now. Amanda's suggestion, Johnny and Daniel. We're gonna take her up on it. We're gonna go see Kreese, and we're gonna ask him if he has any idea what Terry Silva might be up to, what he's planning. And sure enough, he says he does. But he's like, I'm not gonna fucking help you guys out. Why would I tell you? So we're gonna have to try to make a little bit of a deal. It seems like, you know what I mean. We go to Miyagi-Do. We have all these kids preparing. We have one kid sitting on his egg. I think it's Piss Breath. He's sitting on his egg. Then we have Ass Face. He climbs up into the tree with his egg. Hysterical. Then we got Dimitri. Literally builds some kind of crazy science experiment to protect his egg. Some kind of like shell encasement.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
pretty
actually
funny.
very funny. He's of course like downgrading everybody else. Like, oh, that's all you're gonna try to hide your egg. You're gonna try to just fight Chosen. What an idiot! I have this amazing dome that I've created. It's pretty sturdy, you know what I mean? And sure enough, that's exactly when Chosen decides to start things off, and he just fucking spears it like right out of his hand. The thing just cracks instantaneously. Dimitri, first one out, you're done. You're out of here. Did not work. But that was awesome. I thought that was hysterical. Dimitri, what does he say? He says like something like, "Bird like to talk the loudest. Go first." I love Chosen, man. He's the best. All of his little sayings. The Cobra Kai students, we're going to find out that they are going to split up, boys and girls, on either side of the dojo. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be partnering up, and we are going to be fighting the senseis. So the girls are going to be fighting Sensei Kim, and then the boys are going to be fighting Sensei Tyrone fucking Woodley. A bunch of these kids are going to have to fight UFC ex-champion Tyrone freaking Woodley.
Dude, by the way, he just looks mean this entire episode.
He does. He doesn't say anything.
Yeah, he doesn't have many lines at all, but he just looks mean.
Yep,
he's mean mugging the entire time.
The whole time. So our first contestants, of course, because it's Cobra Kai, we're not going to do anything outside the box. We're going to use our characters that we know. We're going to have Kyla and Kenny go up against Tyrone Woodley. They fail epically.
Oh, yeah.
Kyla literally doesn't do anything at all. He's just telling Kenny to go and
He
using Kenny as a
sucks.
shield.
He's the worst.
He is. He's terrible. But he's literally just using Kenny as a shield, basically. Like, go get in there. And then, of course, when they fail, what does he do? He blames fucking Kenny. Like, dude, you didn't do anything. What do you mean? How are you going to blame this kid?
Yeah, no kidding.
And then we're going to go to Tori and Devin against Sensei Kim. And they're going to fail too, but they're going to fail a little bit differently. Tori tries to work with Devin.
Yeah.
Devin just ain't having it.
Nah, she doesn't understand teamwork.
No, not at all. And she's just like, I can handle it myself kind of a thing. Like, this isn't going to, like, this girl's a badass, dude. This is Sensei Kim. She's going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Sure enough, exactly what she does. She messes up her and Tori. Doesn't work at all. But, like I said, we're trying to see who can rise to the top here, and this isn't going to get it done. This is not the approach, you know what I mean? We're going to go back to the prison. Johnny and Daniel, we got to strike up a deal. And what are we going to do? We're going to offer Kreese a nice, good attorney. What better thing to offer him? He wants to get out of here. We're going to help you get out of here.
Yeah, not some public defender.
Yep.
We're going to give you top-of-the-line LaRusso attorney.
Dealership money.
Oh, yeah.
Someone high-end.
That Valley money.
The Valley money, yeah, for real. You fucking seen his house. I'm sure he can afford a damn good attorney. But all he has to do is just tell them what Silva's up to. Seems like a damn good plan.
Yeah.
And sure enough, all right, I'm in. So he goes, Daniel literally gets up right there, makes the call. Johnny doesn't like it though, you know what I mean? Johnny's kind of hesitant to trust him. He doesn't trust him right away. But it seems like we're going to get some information that we desperately need, because obviously Silva's trying to do more than just open up dojos all over the valley. Like, he's got tons of money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He doesn't need more money from these dojos.
Yeah, he's 2 steps ahead constantly.
Yeah. We're going to go back to Miyagi-Do, and we're going to have some pretty great Chosen scenes. First, he's going to throw something. I don't even know. It's not like a throwing knife, but some wooden-looking throwing knife. He's going to throw it up into the tree. It's going to knock Ass-Face out of the tree. He's going to fall right down on penis breath, and they're both going to just send their eggs crashing to a halt. That one was pretty funny. Then we had the two little nerdy kids that always end up fighting each other.
Yeah.
They're on that balance table in the water. They're just sitting there spinning their eggs. Chosen, you just see him creeping in the water like a fucking alligator. He just comes up and flips the whole fucking thing. That was probably my favorite one.
Which is hilarious because that little pond is literally like 10 feet big. So
How did he get into the pond?
How did he get into the pond without you noticing that he was getting in?
For real. And think about, like, it's like that, like that table, like any movement's going to kind of like shift it and make it. If he jumps into that water or anything, the thing's going to go fucking rocking and stuff.
Just very funny.
So funny. Guy moves like a feather, you know what I mean? He's got elf qualities to him. He moves like fucking someone out of the Rings of Power. I like Robbie. Robbie tries to bury it in the mulch, kind of like what I was saying. That's probably what my idea would have done. Problem is that he waited until Chosen was already out here taking out eggs, and he was right around the corner. It's like, dude, why didn't you do this 10 minutes ago when he told you to do it right away?
Yeah.
Sure enough, Chosen was watching the whole time, just spears it out of the ground.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Then we get to my boy, Hawk. No tricks. Hawk's like, let's fight, old man. Let's go. You want some of this? Come get the champ, baby. Pulls out a pair of nunchucks, slaps the egg right out of his hand before Hawk can even make a move. Didn't even know what hit him. Bang. Champ out. Sad. But Minnie LaRusso, being the big bitch that he is, he sees that whole little thing go down, and he just forfeits right there. He just goes, I'm done, I'm out. Forfeits my egg. Just give it, just crush it. I love Chosen, though. He still, like, goes, grabs the egg, and then just crushes it.
Yeah.
It's like he wants the thrill, you know what I mean? He wants to crush that egg. Very, very funny. But that pretty much, takes out everybody, except for, it seems like, Miguel and Sam, for the most part, of course. Now that Hawk and Robbie are out, they go kind of over to, like, the loser section, and they have a little spat real quick, but then Dimitri kind of puts it down. Kind of does the same conversation that we already had earlier a couple seasons ago, where it's like, we used to be assholes at Cobra Kai. Now we're all assholes. Now none of us are assholes. We're all back on the same page. You know what I mean? Like, we were all assholes before. It's good. So it already seems like things are starting to mend out a little bit there, which is good. Sam and Miguel, last two left. They're going to have this wicked lame conversation. I was like, this is not that. First of all, we've already talked about this. Miguel, stop chasing Sam around.
Yeah.
She dumped you. She sucks. Leave her alone.
Yeah, you just look pathetic now.
You look pathetic. Number two, you have a psychotic ninja karate master hunting you down, trying to execute your eggs. This is not the time for a conversation.
We're training right now.
And it's just like, me and you, I think we're both saying it. You're watching this conversation happen, and all you're thinking is like, Chosen is going to come. Like, he's going to show up here at some point. He's going to take you guys out. This ain't the time. Sure enough, it's exactly what he does. Hits Miguel with a leg kick. Bang, Miguel goes crashing down, lands on his egg because he had it in his pocket, so he's out. And then Sam thought she was being so smart the whole time. She had it in her backpack, so she was free to use her hands. Turns out at some point, we don't know exactly when, Chosen was able to sneak up on her, sneak right inside that bag, and he already had it. And sure enough, bang, both the Russos crushed in his hand. I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
The only two that he crushes with his hands are the two LaRusso kids. But I think that technically means that Miguel won that contest.
I believe it does.
I think that's what that has to mean. We're going to go to Cobra Kai again, and things are still going bad. Kenny and Kyla still getting their asses kicked. Kyla's still being a complete dickhead. Same thing, using him as a shield. Kyla's had it mean Kyla. Kenny's had enough of it. He's finally like, all right, fuck this.
Yeah.
I'm done. You suck. I can't stand it. He basically goes to like storm him off. Silva says, not so fast. Come with me. Goes up to his office, has an interesting little chat. Basically tells him, hey, you've been looking up to people your entire life. Before your dad left for the military, then it was your brother before he went to juvie, then it was Robbie at Cobra Kai. He's like, now you're looking up to this fucking Kyla loser. He's like, no more. He's like, you can be the best fighter in the dojo. You have more potential than Robbie. You have more potential than Hawk. You have more potential than Miguel. It's time for you to stop being a leader. It's no more time for fucking, taking orders and stuff like that. And Kenny he's like,
Yeah, he buys into it.
yeah. He kind of said, all right, it's my time now. It's my time to step up and be a man. I think that was a good moment. Silva realized his top dog, and he's going to go after him. You know what I mean? And you know what's impressive is that he's so freaking young compared to the rest of most of these other kids. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He's only going to keep getting bigger, stronger, faster, fucking tougher. Kenny's going to be a problem. From there, we're going to go to the prison. And this was a pretty cool freaking scene. Actually, no, I'm sorry, not that. I'm sorry, I'm lied. We're gonna go there one more time first. There was only this was kind of like a bait scene, big time, just cliffhanger scene. Daniel's gone, trying to get the lawyer. It's just Kreese and Johnny. Kreese trying to dig his claws into Johnny again, trying to do the same thing he's done to him a bunch of times. Johnny just basically saying he ain't having it anymore. Like, dude, I'm not falling for your tricks anymore, old man. I know, like, I already played this game. He's like, we're done. The reason why I'm doing this is to take you down and Cobra Kai. I'm wiping your whole thing off the map. Daniel shows up. He's got the little folded pieces of paper. He's like, all right, the lawyer's name's right here. All we need is the information. And, of course, we cut away. Like I said, a little bit of a cliffhanger, but we're going to find out in just a second. We're going to go back to Miyagi-Do first for a very cool scene. Chosen says, all right, you guys failed the first test. You didn't do it. I'm going to give you guys a second chance. So everybody take a new egg. And they're like, all right. I think Dimitri's like, I don't know how this is going to go any different. You know what I mean? And then of all the people in the world, it's fucking Minnie LaRusso who goes, guys, if we all work together as a group, maybe all of us can be Chosen. So what do? They literally use the old expression. They put all of their eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And they all surround the basket, basically, and work as a team. And that's how they're going to try to defend off from Chosen. And again, another great Chosen moment. He comes, they're all like on guard looking from where he's going to come from because you have no idea. And he just comes running from all the way across the dojo, but he just comes running in with this huge shaft, looking like he's literally ready to go to war. Like war face, like war cry. Just, ah! I would have just shit my pants. I would have just sat. I would have been like, nope. No.
Awesome scene. Awesome scene.
No. Yeah, it was great. Sure enough, like I say, it's going to stick, though. Start swinging that thing around. I think Hawk and Robbie are able to team up and kind of take him down, take him out of his hands. But then they all kind of start throwing in their own little attacks, this, that, the other thing. Chosen's kind of, still fighting his own, handling these kids pretty well. But then they keep, battling with them. They end up kind of cornering him. They push him into a corner. And sure enough, Chosen's got nowhere to go. Surrenders. Kids figured it out. The whole point of the mission, the task, the training session was you got to work together. And kind of that's what Chosen says to him after. He says, you guys might not have the numbers that Cobra Kai does. But if you learn to fight together and as a unit, they have no idea to do that. They're individuals, you know what I mean? They just all want to be the next top dog. They're all, fighting at each other at this point. So, and then he kind of says, now that you guys figured out the task and you guys did it, now I'm going to teach you guys how to master it. So they're going to learn how to really fight almost as like a little army unit. Yeah. Some 300 shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Learn how to fight as a little army. But awesome stuff from Chosen in this episode. I loved seeing all the kids together training for the first time and stuff. Oh well, lurks. Look at this guy. He is one of a kind, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Like a NASCAR pit team. The man is good. Oh, producing the show.
They pay me the big bucks, baby.
That's right. Yeah. Co-hosting and producing, doing it all. We're going to go to Cobra Kai now for the last time. We had our wrap-up at Miyagi-Do. Now we're going to go wrap up at Cobra Kai. Tori and Devin, they decide, all right, let's give it one more shot. But Tori says, I'm only doing it if we're going to work together this time. And Devin's like, okay, I'm in. Let's do it. And we have a cool scene. They're putting up a good fight. Sensei Kim is going to get the better of Devin, though. And as she's going to go to lay a strike on Devin, she turns her back to Tori. Leaves a big opening there.
Oh, yeah.
Almost seems like, I don't know if it was intentional, but you never know with her because she's that good. Maybe she did that on purpose. She left her back open. Tori could have taken the point if she wanted to. Instead, she doesn't. She basically dives in front of the attack and blocks it to protect Devin.
Yeah.
Sensei Kim says, hey, you could have just scored a point on me just there. And she goes, yeah, but I wouldn't have been a very good leader if I had left, my soldier behind.
Yeah.
And it seems like that might have been the point of this assignment. You know what I mean? Being a team. Again, kind of the same message that Chosen was saying.
Yeah,
but
that's how I took it. That's how I took it. They had back-to-back scenes. They were both dojos were teaching their
teamwork kind of thing.
Yeah, about teamwork.
Teamwork and But theirs you could tell had a little bit more like that Cobra Kai sense, like that leader follower kind of mentality thing, rather than truly working together. But regardless, either way, they did technically lose, but I think in a way they kind of passed the assignment. Then we're going to go to Kenny and Kyla. Kenny's going to say, not so fast this time. I'm not going to go out there and be a meat shield. Fuck that. You're going to listen to me.
Yeah, you're going to be my meat shield.
That's right. And Kyla's like, what the fuck? What'd you just say? So sure enough, they start fighting one another. They start scrapping one another. Tyrone Woodley goes, hey, break it up. Grabs Kyla. Bang. An opening. Kenny launches himself in. Gets a kick on Tyrone Woodley. Scores a point. Gets the dub. Shows that, he can seize an opening. I guess that's kind of using a teammate in a way. He used Kyla to his advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck Kyla.
Yeah, that kid sucks. But Kenny got the job done. Tori and Devin, in a way, kind of get the job done. It seems like they're going to be like the true rising of the crop there. But let's see how long Tori's going to be sticking around for. You know what I mean? But good way to wrap up Cobra Kai. And then we're going to go to our last scene of the episode, which was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, we're going to set up what this show I think is going to do going forward for the next few seasons, or at least I hope, but we'll see. We're going to go back to jail. We have Kreese, we have Johnny, we have Danny. And now it's time for Kreese to give up the information. And we get a nice little flashback scene, which I love the flashbacks on this show. He's going to tell a story about a time when him and Silva went across to Japan to go for a visit to visit their master. And basically they were, seeing the place firsthand and stuff like that, the place that they were trained. And Silva is going to come up and he's going to say, hey, you've been doing such a good job training. Apparently, they started their first dojo already. Cobra Kai's opened one dojo. Terry Silver buys him the dojo. The first Cobra Kai dojo was actually a gift from Terry to Kreese, which I thought was a nice little addition. I liked that. That was pretty cool. And then he says, it's time for us to start thinking bigger than just the Valley. Already back then in this flashback, he's already having these ideas. It's time to start thinking bigger than the Valley. And he gives Kreese a magazine for the Sakai Takai tournament, the biggest karate tournament in the entire world. And the plan is to enter Cobra Kai in, because if Cobra Kai wins, now they can go global. He says that they can turn this tournament into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're not just getting local recognition; they're getting worldwide recognition.
Putting the Cobra Kai karate style on a world stage for the whole entire world to see. And obviously, we know with all of the money and the resources that Terry Silver has, if his dojo's competing in it and doing well, like he says, he can turn this thing into the fucking Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Get some news crews in here, not social media back then, but we know that this is his plan now still. You know what I mean? Even though it's a flashback, this is still his plan. This is what he's going to try to do. Yeah. He's going to try to get Cobra Kai in this tournament and fucking get Cobra Kai global.
Yeah.
Which, worldwide tournament, no age limit. That means we can have these kids fighting for the next fucking 30 years, baby.
Bang, bang.
We can be popping out seasons forever. We can be fighting left and right. You know what I mean?
It was beautiful. It was nice that they set it up so that way they have options now and they can keep going. They don't have to have a certain time limit on how long they can have these kids and do this show.
That's right. We were looking for an answer to the All Valley. It's the U18 All Valley. I was like, are they going to add a new age bracket or something? The U21 All Valley or some shit like that? But nope, it turns out we are going global. Crazy. Awesome. I loved it. As soon as I saw that, I got a huge grin on my face because like I just said, I was like, we can do this forever now. We can go for fucking 40 seasons. We're going to be like Survivor, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking Cobra Kai's season 46.
Yeah. And now they can kind of flip-flop on seasons too. Like one season's leading up to the All Valley, one season's leading up to the Sakai Takai. Is that what it is?
The Sakai Takai. Yeah. Cool little name. I had to make sure I pronounced that one a few times before the show today, just so I could make sure I didn't stumble over that one.
Say Sakai Takai 10 times faster.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't even get it out 2 times fast. Sakai Takai, Sakai. Yeah, nope. See that? I couldn't get it out 2 times fast. Told you. But then, actually, kind of cool. It doesn't just end there. We go back to the jailhouse scene, and then Kreese is like, all right, I gave you guys my end of the deal. I told you guys what he's up to. He's going to be planning for this tournament. Now it's time for, you guys to keep up your end of the deal. Let me get the piece of paper. Opens it up. No mercy, motherfucker.
Love it. Written down on the piece of paper.
Couldn't believe it.
No
I was stunned.
Mercy, motherfucker. Got him.
Got him big time. Got him big time.
You know Kreese wasn't expecting that either.
No. I was to say, I could see Johnny pulling a move like that for sure, but Danny pulling a move like that, I was like, oh shit, okay, LaRusso.
Hey, maybe that makes Kreese realize too, like, oh shit, maybe like shit's popping off outside because if Danny's coming here and pulling these tricks, like shit must be bad,
serious, right? Yeah. He's putting his honor and his integrity on the line, which obviously that's what his whole Miyagi-Do thing is about.
Yeah. He's willing to risk it right now. Like.
Yep. I mean, Kreese has put him through a lot of shit, but still, like I said, I'm still surprised. Danny, usually not a guy for that kind of shit. Yeah. But an awesome way to end that episode. I thought the whole thing, the flashback, I thought was wicked cool. The Sakai Takai tournament being set up, wicked cool. The No Mercy motherfucker note, I thought was wicked cool. A great ending. I thought it was an awesome episode. I love it.
I agree.
Like I said too, I loved just seeing. They've done it a few times too. This isn't the first time that they've done those two, like the two mashing like training styles at the same time. But I liked the way that they were, like we kind of said, sort of teaching the same message, but in just totally different fashions. Yeah. But great episode for Chosen. Big episode for Chosen. But we're at a good point now.
Yeah, I mean, now we really set ourselves up for the next 3 episodes too.
Yep. Now we know exactly. We know what Silver's planning to do. Now we're gonna kind of see what we're gonna go from here, what we're gonna do about it, how we're gonna handle this kind of a thing, and then we still have to deal with obviously Tori being in Cobra Kai. She's only here because she's working with Kreese.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look like Kreese thought he was going to get out of jail, but now I don't know. It kind of looks up in the air.
Yeah, things are looking dicey.
So now who knows? Like who knows how long Tori's going to want to stick around for and stuff like that. She might, start seeing like, hey, I'm out of here. It's been too long. But altogether, good middle 4 episodes here. We're going to be coming back to you guys, I believe, on Sunday morning, I believe.
Yeah, let's do it.
With our last 3 episodes. We're going to burn through these last 3 before Kalos takes off for his new training. But good episode, good recap. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. As always, I ask that you guys please share this around to all your fellow Cobras out there, your Eagle fangs, your family, your friends. Share it around to all of them. Subscribe. Rate, review, leave comments. All that stuff helps. It really, really does. I really, really appreciate it. Kalos, as always, brother, thanks for being here.
Thank you
Sensei
for having
Los.
me. Love it. Love the show. Love being here. So
yeah, it's good to have you on this side of the table sometimes. You know what I mean? We did it all, just the 2 of us today. Just the 2 of us, no producer. You know what I mean? We still got the job done. And it was a damn good episode.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
But we'll talk to you guys on Sunday. Hope you enjoy. Strike first, strike hard, no mercy, baby.